Welcome to J is for Justice podcast. If live breaking news and following true crime is your thing, then please consider subscribing to my channel. And if you like what you see in my videos, please consider giving them a thumbs up.
There we are.
Or am I muted? No, I'm not muted. Hey, everyone. Sorry, my headphone cord was all wrapped around my chair and just a huge mess tonight. Welcome in. Welcome back to J is for Justice. Tonight is Wednesday night call-in night. We're going to be taking yo calls on this case. But if you call in today, you have to tell me, listen, this is the rule. I want everybody to call in. But listen, you have to tell me worst Halloween candy before you give your comment or whatever your opinion on this case. So remember, call in. You have to tell me the worst Halloween candy, or you can put it in chat. Worst Halloween candy, go. I would say the flavored Tootsie Rolls. Like the fruit Tootsie Rolls. Don't say candy corn. No. If you say candy corn, you lose a testicle. I love candy corn. I especially love the pumpkins. Oh, black licorice. Ick. Raisinets. Ew. What else? I hate those flavored Tootsie Rolls. Those are so gross. I love freaking candy corn and candy pumpkins. They're the best. Worst? Dots. Yeah, dots are the worst. I agree with that. Candy Kisses. I don't like Hershey's chocolate. Those hard taffy peanut butter things. You love the flavored Tootsie Rolls? Circus peanuts. Yeah, those are gross. The marshmallow ghosts. Ooh, Cadbury eggs. Blech. I will trade you candy corn for Raisinets. Absolutely. I love Almond Joys too. Oh yeah, the autumn mix. Those are good. Flavored Tootsie. How can you eat? Like, what even made you unwrap? This is what I want to know. For the people that like these flavored Tootsie Rolls, what even made you originally unwrap the Tootsie Roll? The flavored pink or whatever color those flavored ones are. They look, the fucking wrapper even looks old. Like they've been sitting in someone's cabinet. Blech. No, I can't do it. Vanilla. Oh. Necco wafers. Those are gross. Everyone go trick-or-treating with Jay because she likes the worst candy. No, my favorite candies. Okay, now let's do favorites. I don't like Tootsie Rolls either, even the brown ones. But blue, orange, and pink. Yeah, that sounds fucking natural there. 911. My dad used to give them to me as a toddler. I'm a creature of habit. You're crazy. They are. The wrappers look bogue. Oh, I just can't do it. I like Swedish Fish. Not really the ones you buy in the store, though. They're like not the same as the ones that you used to get at the penny candy store. The Reese's Pumpkins, hands down. Reese's Pumpkin, I could fuck up a whole bag of them things. The pumpkin Reese's, I am with you guys. Reese's rock. Whatchamacallits, they still make whatchamacallits. Gypsy, Three Musketeers is one of those. No, Milky Way is one. Three Musketeers and Milky Way are on the blit list. Lavender candy? Ew. Oh, yeah, the Reese's Pumpkins. Okay, now put a Twix. They're all right. I have to say my two favorites are Snickers and Reese's. I'm a huge sweets person. Those pointy Mexican lollipops. What? Lavender candy mint things. I don't know what that is. Dark chocolate Milky Way, the little box. Yeah, the little box of Sun Kiss raisins or whatever. Oh, Blondini said you like these nuts. Who here is gonna put Mr. Beast's D's nuts in the trick or treat bags that come to their front door?
Cheapers. These nuts.
Snickers for sure. Snickers rock. I'm not a big fan of saltwater taffy. Talk about flavorless. What makes it saltwater taffy anyways? Like, is it made with salt water? What's in it? I ain't eating any lavender, no. Payday or gummy bears? I hope you're healing well, Auntie Cheryl. Paydays, those were my mom's favorite. Painting services by Steve. Coming in hot with a $4.99er. $4.99er on Devil's Night.
Coming in hot, just like the fajita.
He says, hey Jay, Swedish fish. Yummy. You my kind of woman. Like, duh. Baby Ruth. The McDonald's coupons. Get a free hamburger. You don't have paydays. So who knows who Devil's Night is? I know Robat does. In Detroit, they call it Angel's Night now, but who knows who calls it Devil's Night? The 30th of October. German candy with some liqueur? I'll take it. I'm not a big fan of that saltwater taffy. I'll take some fudge, but that sounds good. Pretty in pink. Aldi chocolate, because they have the European chocolate. I just got a Wendy's Frosties. No joke, Striker. Check it out. Look at that's what I was shoving my face with. Look. Miss Wendy. Did you know? Here's a random fun fact. Did you know that Wendy's her shirt on her neck spells mom? Did you notice that? Did you know that? There's some grease on it, but but it says mom. Random fun fact of the day. So I have not watched anything on Delphi today at all. If you guys joined me on the second channel, I was going over these BS emails I got. Ooh, excuse me. It kind of threw me off a little bit. I was a little bit thrown off. It's wow upside down. Yeah. Wow, Mom. You call it Devil's Night? Devil's Night in Michigan is eggs and soap. Yes. So get this. I have a Devil's Night story I want to share. So in high school, these couple of boys didn't like me. I don't even know why. I can't remember why they didn't like me. But they decided to get me on Devil's Night. So, like, up north when it's fall and you rake the leaves, I lived in a small town, Romeo, Michigan, and we would rake our leaves out to the curb, and then these trucks come by. Well, hello, Summer. These trucks come by, and they suck up all the leaves. So one year, and I don't know if just Teresa is still here, but she would know these people. So one year, I'm inside, and all of a sudden, there is fire outside on the curb. My parents are like, oh my God, you know, the leaves are on fire. So we all rushed to the, I vaguely remember this, you know, I was a teenager. I vaguely remember this. But we ran outside and all these leaves are fucking on fire. And it's slowly trailing down the road. You know, it's staying in the road. It's on the curb. Well, I saw Ricky. And Ricky, you know who you are. I'm not going to say your last name. But Ricky, I seen you that night. I seen you. It was Ricky Cornelius. Do you remember that motherfucker, Teresa? Do you remember him? So Ricky Cornelius and one of his friends, I can't remember who it was. But they lit my leaves on fire. My dad had to call the fire department. And yeah, that's what happened. So yeah, people would get egged. They would do bad things. And then in Detroit, it was Devil's Night. You know, when it was still Devil's Night, it was bad. people that get shot, and there were buildings on fire and things like that. So they call it now Angels Night, and they've like combated that. Jay throwing Ricky under the bus and running his ass over. The leaves are on fire. Rico Ricky. Yeah, so thank you, Ricky. I knew it was you all along. I seen it to your car. You remember RC. Yes. Yep. And the other guy that he did it with, I think, is passed now, Teresa. His name was Scott. Yeah, it's much better now. I'm glad that it's calmed down. Tonight is Mischief Night. Tomorrow is Samhain. I don't know what that is. I keep forgetting to pin comments. But painting services by Steve. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. And it looks like Sherry also came in hot. Thank you for your $5 super sticker, Miss Sherry.
Coming in hot, just like the fajita.
I appreciate y'all. Well, what do you guys say that we start our call-ins? We've messed around enough. It's time to get serious. No, seriously, do you guys think that Richard Allen is the right guy? Or do you think someone else did it? You say it like so win. What's so win? Oh, well, I mispronounce everything. It's fine. So, do you guys think it's Richard Allen? What do you think of what you've heard so far? Etc. Let's take some calls, guys. 727-755-6001. Let's talk it through. Good evening, butter. Trey Snipes, I'm starting to have doubts. Well, Nancy Grace is out in front of the courthouse, holding on to her hat. She's about to blow away, and she's hell-bent. It's Richard Allen. Hell-bent. Saying he's the guy in the video, etc. 727-755-6001. The hotline is hot and ready. That didn't sound good. 911 crime time. It's my daughter's birthday. Devil's Night is appropriate. Yep. You know the Michiganders. Hey, Toy. Peanut Butter Fudge. Mayor Coleman Young. Yep. He's the one that switched it to Angels Night, right? Oh, I'm way behind in chat. Damn. Hearing some of his confession today, it didn't sound real. I didn't watch Hidden True Crime Striker, so what we're trying to do, I think Kels, I don't know if she's here tonight. Cannabis Queen, it's him. Ange, I can't really say I haven't followed close enough. Remember Mike's Bar? They call it Cozy Corner. Yeah, I remember Cozy's. Y'all, can we just talk about the treatment? If nobody's going to call in, you're going to force me to talk about Richard Allen's treatment in the prison. First off, I think it's fucking weird that he was put in this, high security or maximum security prison in the hole, so to speak. Oh, we have our first caller. Yay. Let's see who we've got.
Nicole G.
Hi, Nicole G.
Hi, Jay.
Oh, so good to put a voice to the name.
Thank you.
Thanks for calling in.
You're welcome.
Okay, worst Halloween candy.
What's that?
Worst Halloween candy.
Starburst.
Okay. All right. So what's on your mind with Delphi?
Delphi. Well, I think it is Richard Allen because of the one piece of information that we discovered through the trial that he knows only something the killer would know.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that is how they were unalived.
So do you think that one thing has come out yet?
The fact that how they were unalived.
Did he?
I think he knew.
Did he know?
I think he's the only one that knew that. And so they were waiting for that. I think that's the key.
What did he say, though, about them being unalived? And was this like in the interrogation?
I don't think we've heard that evidence.
Okay, so you don't think that's come out yet, but you think it will. You think they still have something.
Yes. Correct.
Mm.
And I think Bridge Guy looks like him. Although when I heard, the only thing like keeping me from that, when I heard, I forget his name, the one that passed away.
Ron Logan?
The reporter. Yes. That had him say, like, go down the hill.
Mm-hmm. That was wild.
Because, yes, it did sound pretty close. The inflection at the end was a little off, but
I think he kind of did that on purpose, like to sound upbeat instead of saying
right
down the hill, like demanding.
Right. Exactly.
Well, I hope you're right, because I'd hate to see one man be put through this shit and it not be him,
Exactly.
But I'd also hate to see a guy that did this walk free. And just because they, didn't prove beyond a reasonable doubt that it's him. That's scary, too.
I know. It is driving me a little crazy that I can't actually see all the evidence presented, the whole case presented, because I'm a facts kind of girl.
Mm-hmm.
And even though I have my opinions and theories prior to a trial, it's not the same as
being able to see it in black and white, you mean?
Exactly.
Yeah, same.
Presented the case.
I appreciate all the different people that are there, because we can kind of take all of them
together.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think, every lawyer is going to have their own view, depending on what they do in their career and what their experiences are. I think that Lawyer Lee is kind of doing more of a kind of neutral. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I think so too. She's just putting a timeline together with what's been presented, I think.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. That's why I like her coverage. She's not really, swaying one way or the other and putting a lot of her feelings in it. She's, trying to keep it to what factually happened. So I'm with you on that one. I like seeing the documents. I like seeing what their evidence is. Do you think that we'll ever see these interrogation tapes or anything?
No.
Isn't that a shame?
I really don't. Also the fact that they're minors, they like to steal a lot of that, redact a lot, etc. when it comes to children, crimes against children. That's why I'm actually surprised that some of the information that's come out has come out.
Well, I don't think that Judge Gall is real thrilled with it.
Right.
It seems like she's even making it difficult for people to watch in person, which I find to be that's what makes everybody side-eye too, is the behaviors of the judge and how she's shut everything down.
Yeah.
It makes you feel like they're hiding something, or I just don't get it.
No. Corruption. No, I'm kidding.
I mean, you never know. Look at Rex Heuermann's case. It was unsolved for so long because those sex workers were being hired by cops, and then they cleared out, like there was a whole clearing out of their department or whatever, and then they started making arrests, started getting search warrants and stuff. So I don't know if that's the case. I mean, it's a town of 3,000. And that's kind of like where I grew up, like, is a town, like, it was 3,000 in the village.
Mm-hmm.
And I just, like, why would the
Do you
sheriff?
think it's a small town mentality? Like, they don't want all this attention?
Oh, I'm sure they don't like it. And they've had to admit that they've made mistakes. I mean, there's mistakes that we've all seen. So God knows what other ones were found. And for that, for them to get on the stand and have to really like admit that they kind of made mistakes in this case, they don't like doing that, especially on
Right.
TV.
Well, thanks for having me up.
Oh, it was wonderful talking to you.
Me too.
Yeah, thanks for calling in, Nicole G. Give it up for Nicole G, y'all.
I'll be in the chat.
All right, you have a good night, hon.
You too, Jen.
Okay, bye. So Nicole G thinks that they got the right guy. It's just a matter of presenting all the evidence. But here we are, like 2 weeks into the trial. When are they going to present this evidence, right? Give me a call, 727-755-6001. If you want to talk about my dreads, call in. You want to talk about Richard Allen, call in. You want to talk about the emails I got earlier, call in. 727-755-6001. You can say whatever you want about my 420 dreads. I love my 420 dreads. Smoke them if you got them, babes. We got a lot of Michiganders in here. I love it. My heart's in Michigan for sure. Oh, Casey. Casey's in the house. Hey, babe. What's up, girlfriend? Good to see you. Good to see you. 727-755-6001. I hope you're doing good, Casey. It's so good to see you. That's my girl, Casey. I just had a local post from the village I grew up in says, anyone want a deer right now? Yeah, come pick it up on the side of the road. I've seen that before. You are live on air with Jay. Who am I talking to?
Hey, it's Blue Victorian Beauty, but my name's Tori.
Hey, Tori. How you doing?
I've called before.
Yeah, how you doing?
I'm good. I have a couple things. First of all, I don't think Richard Allen is the one that did it.
You don't?
No.
Okay.
In my opinion, I think KK did it.
You think he actually did the unaliving?
Yes.
Really? Why do you think that?
I do.
I'm curious. I mean, I know why you think he's involved, sure. But why do you think that he actually did the unaliving?
Well, I honestly can't tell you exactly. I don't know exactly. It's just, that's what I think happened. And I think that he set up Richard Allen.
So you think he knows who Richard Allen is?
Know. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Do you?
I think they're all intertwined in some way.
Oh, I do too. 100% agree with you. The only part I'm having a hard time with is Keegan's fat arse maneuvering that down the hill and up the hill. But then again, look at Richard Allen. He ain't exactly, in shape either. What do you think of that?
Yeah, and if you are gung-ho on doing something, I think you can make it happen.
Like the adrenaline, you mean? Like an adrenaline rush?
Right. Like if you are like, I'm going to do this, like, you're set out to do that. You're going to do it. I don't know. That's just how I feel. But I don't know. It's a bit crazy. And also, I just wanted to say that all this nonsense going on with the lawsuits and you getting all those emails, this is ridiculous. And please, please, please report it. And take care of yourself and your family. Because it worries me.
Are you there? I'm sorry, I lost
Yes, I'm here.
my mic came unplugged. I'm sorry. And thank you.
Oh, no, you're okay.
I think it's absolutely ridiculous too. I'm sorry, I wasn't trying to ghost you there. I'm like, shit. My mic came unplugged.
You're fine.
Um
You're good.
Yeah, I think it's absolutely crazy too.
Yeah, just please take care of yourself. And I had other thoughts, but I can't remember them, and I'll let other people call. But I love y'all.
Aw,
And
thank you.
thank you for doing what you do.
Well, thank you for calling in and thank you for doing what you do.
Oh, well, thank you.
All right, have a good night.
You too, Jay.
All right, bye. We have the sweetest callers. Give it up for her. Woo! All right, green-eyed. The call lines are open. 727-755-6001. If you were trying to call, you can call back now. Let's see who we've got. She thinks that it's not Richard Allen. Green-eyed says Tony Klein. I know, very sweet. I don't know who unplugged my mic. That was weird. Like, I didn't even touch anything. Bella wants to talk to y'all. 727-755-6001. Do you think this is Richard Allen? Do you think that Richard Allen was treated fairly? Do you think that he should have been in prison? Do you think that he should have been in lockdown? Do you know that that man was sitting in a cell 24/7 with a camera on him with nothing? They watched him the whole time. Now, if he actually did this, would you give a shit? Because I wouldn't. I know my mic went null. Mic null. Yeah, a lot of people's health deteriorates when they're in jail, though. Especially if you unalived a couple girls and you got caught. You're going to lose weight. You're going to be pretty stressed out. The only one that didn't lose weight is Sarah. Sarah Boone did not lose weight. She gained. But some of these people get off drugs and they gain weight too. But some people go downhill. Every time my dog barks, it's freaking me out. You think she gained because she went on meds? Oh, could be. Could be. Well, she needed to gain. She quit smoking. Yeah, good point, Evelyn. That'll do it right there. Oh, Megan Faramuska blew up, too. Mm-hmm. Amanda Howe. Oh, my God. Whoa!
Roly-poly, daddy's little Maddie. Daddy's gonna be a man someday.
727-755-6001. Potato says, do you think it's weird that Ron Logan died within months? They arrested R.A. after miraculously discovering his file was under the wrong name. Can we talk about that wrong name? Ooh, we got a caller. Here we go, guys.
From?
You are live on the air with Jay. Who am I talking to?
Hey, JJ.
Hey.
You're not young.
Oh, this is my girl. What's up, girl?
Hey, girl. So, look, first of all, I wanted to just tell you, I got to say this. If you put me in solitary for a year and I'm on Haldol, I'll probably be in there naked doing jumping jacks. There's no telling what I would be in there. There's no telling what I would say to get out of there.
She said naked doing jumping jacks.
I'd probably be naked doing jumping jacks, standing on my head, because that's a year. You don't have anything. And, they were, and Haldol makes you very thirsty. It's for, it's an antipsychotic. But yet today, the therapist says, oh, no, he wasn't, there was nothing wrong with him. He was fine. But yet after he starts confessing, they go, oh, yes, he has psychosis. She was all over the place today.
Who was?
The therapist that saw Richard Allen in the prison.
Oh, okay. I didn't watch today yet. I haven't seen any coverage from today.
She was all over the place. Her notes, she couldn't even read. I mean, she couldn't even read her own notes. It was all over the place. But like I'm saying, the treatment that he got, you haven't. That's okay. That's okay. He hasn't even been convicted of anything, yet he's in the prison. They got him on Haldol. They're shocking him. Why are you tasing him? You see what I'm saying? I mean, that treatment, that would make me, like I said, if you have me in there for a year and then you make you don't, I'm not getting anything to drink, I'm going to drink out my toilet too. I'm going to be crazy.
Well, I hear you.
No human contact. No human contact.
You'd be doing some Jodi Arias moves. Handstands against the wall and shit.
Yes, I'd be twirling. I would be twirling.
She'd like to twirl.
I'd like to twirl.
You are crazy.
I'd be wanting some snack. And the food. Just think about. And then they were saying that, he wasn't being harassed. Yes, he was.
Yeah.
He had said it in the psychiatrist's office. So they were getting busted. The warden was lying. All of them were lying. But the other thing I wanted to say, the one thing that the killer knew, they were saying, was the white van.
The what?
The white van that drove by. And that's what spooked him. But here's the thing. During the interrogation with Sergeant Moulton, he was feeding him everything.
The one that was screaming at him?
Mm-hmm. Yes. He was probably saying, you saw the white van, and that's what spooked you. Because you know how horrible he was during that interrogation.
Yeah, it sounded like he was in his face.
So, yeah, he was in his face. But so then, by the time you're on Haldol and in solitary for a year, you're going to go, white van. And Haldol will make you drool on yourself. I've had patients on it, and I've seen it.
It's a strong drug. I remember it from when I worked in hospice, actually. We had hospice patients at the end of life to...
In the life, you give them Haldol.
Yeah.
Because of the delirium. Right. So what I'm saying is, if you put me on Haldol and I'm in a 3x8 cell for a year, girl, I will tell you anything. I will tell you I stole a Twinkie at 5 years old. I'll tell you anything. So I still think, and I know I told you this, Tony Khan, he was a hiker. Remember the big hiker guy? He loved to hike. And he was the one, he had that fetish. He loved to chase the women. His big thing was chasing women. He held guns to his children's head. He has that background of that.
Mm-hmm. Yes, he does.
So, and his son is in jail for the 40 years for him having that drop box that Anthony shot. And I believe it was him on that phone that morning with Libby, and then I don't think it was Keegan. Or if it was Keegan, he told his dad, "Okay, I'm making you a setup." Look at that grainy picture. If you were a juror, could you tell who that was? Be honest.
No. And you know what bothers me about it is that if this guy's a local, how come no one said, "Oh my God, that's that guy from the CVS"?
You're right. Exactly. Because see, Tony's not there in Delphi. He's working at Chrysler in Peru? In Peru.
Yeah. You know what else I saw last night, Green Eyed? I looked up Tony Jerry's court records. They're in I can't remember the name of the county now. Peru is in what county is that? Anyways, I looked him up. He was sued by Daimler Chrysler. And he was on a
Oh my gosh, you're right.
yes, he was sued by Daimler Chrysler, and then he was on some kind of a garnishment, like payback out of his like his retirement or his pension or something. Because there was like a
That's
pay
right.
schedule. So why was he sued by Daimler Chrysler? What did he do?
Right. And also, he worked his schedule. He worked the B schedule, and he was off that day and the next day for he was off the day of the killing and the very next day. But then remember, oh, I'm going to Vegas.
Yeah, he was in Vegas by the 25th, I think.
Yeah, like it was like 3 days later, and so was Keegan.
Yes.
Now, how can you just let that go? Especially with Tony's background.
Well, this is what I don't
And he
understand.
was off that day.
Green-eyed, what I don't understand is, okay, first of all, he worked for Chrysler. Do you know how hard it is to get fired from Chrysler, let alone sued
because
by
the
your
union.
Yeah, because the union, like, let alone sued.
The union. Right. So what did he do? Now, he had a charge against his ex-wife.
Mm-hmm.
I know you saw that.
I did.
Because he abused her. You know, he beat her real bad.
Yeah, there was like a battery, and then there was a couple harassments on there.
Yeah, and his children, like I said, he would hold the gun to their heads, and say, like clean your room. Well, that's not normal behavior. But when he was in that car with that friend of his, and he was trying to get this girl's attention in a parking lot, he then proceeded to chase her. He was into the chase, like that was his thrill. So that's what makes me think, were you down the hill, Tony?
Right.
Or was this your whole gig? Why are they not? I don't understand what cleared him, or if he's even cleared. And why is he pretending to be in Florida? Why is he hiding?
Why is he not speaking to his son anymore?
Right. Because his son said, remember when they were interviewing him, and he said, well, as late in the game, he said, well, my dad used my phone, and he could do something like that. Then his dad's like, I'm not talking to him anymore.
Yeah, I'm done with his ass.
Yeah, he's going to get me called.
Yep.
Or, whatever.
Yep.
Yeah. But Tony could not say he was at work that day because he was off. And that's a fact. Because Schedule B, if you look up Chrysler's schedules, they have their A, B, and C because they're open 24/7. Yep, Tony was not working. But then he got to go to Las Vegas, 3-4 days later.
Right. So did he ever work again after that, Tony? It doesn't sound like it.
No, it doesn't. I don't think they wanted him there with that.
Right.
They didn't want that attention on him, especially with Keegan and then Tony.
Right. I mean, their house was raided within days of these murders.
Right.
I can't get past that.
I can't either because it went directly. They had Libby's phone, and it took them to Anthony's shots, but it took it to Keegan's.
Yeah, can we vent about Libby's phone for a second? We all know that they can find a lot of shit in phones, right? I mean, I know this was 2017, but even with, technology now, they could probably take an older phone and find more than they could then. So why haven't they? What's going on? Like, why they don't know who tried to unlock the phone? I mean, they don't, like, the steps and the times aren't even matching up. Something's funky here.
Yeah.
With Libby's video at 2:13. And then you have all these steps, like, I don't know, the steps aren't adding up with what the timeline says happened.
Well, oh gosh, this is terrible. Did you hear about the picture that they have of Bridge Guy and where they got it from?
From Libby's phone,
The
right?
the trail cam.
What? When did that come out? What am I
Okay,
missing?
listen. Okay, listen.
I'm
I just
listening.
heard this. Okay, I heard that they got the picture from the trail cam. They even have the picture of the day when people were searching. They have a picture of Libby's dad on the trail, on the bridge. They even have him on there. They have a trail cam. But somebody's saying that they connected that picture with the audio of Libby's phone. That's what I'm hearing. In my opinion, allegedly.
So
So if
this
there's a trail cam,
this didn't come out in
where-
trial,
where-
right? This is just what you're hearing on the streets.
no, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But think about it. Why? I don't know. If there are trail cams, which we do know there are because Libby's dad was walking, and they have that. They have them when people were searching. Where was it that day? Right?
I heard, didn't something come out that they didn't even look for him that day? Or am I mistaken?
They started looking for him like around 5 o'clock because they called the cops at around 5 o'clock. So they're supposed to pick him up at 3.
Right.
And then the dad came, and then they called everybody and said, the girls aren't here. We can't find them. And then everybody came, and then at 5 o'clock, I think, they said, we got to call the cops.
Yeah, didn't Libby's
Well,
grandmother call
tell me the
AT&T
trail cam.
first to ping the phone or
Yes, she
something?
did. Yep, she did.
It's weird. I wouldn't even
And I
think to do
still
that.
think I still think the phone turned back on at 4:30 in the morning.
It does.
Because
Mhm.
either it was updating, or it finally was in the area. Finally, it caught service from a tower somewhere for a minute, because that was a weird, it was a spotty area.
Yeah, it's weird.
I don't think somebody went back to the scene to turn the phone on.
No, I don't either. I just think it's weird that it was idle for that long. Like the fact that it picked up a signal in at 4:30 in the morning, but for 12 whole hours, like it was just idle. Like not in
Right.
it's just weird. I get what you're saying though, that the area would have sketchy coverage possibly.
Or was it wet? And I don't know. I've been trying to figure that out. But then the trail cam thing came to me, and I'm like, well, where are the trail cams? I want to see them.
And what are the odds that Keegan Kline set up a meeting with Libby and Abby to meet them at the Monon High Bridge, and then Richard Allen just happened, or whoever, bridge guy happens to be there and does this to them?
Yeah, that some random guy happens to be there
But all
do
these
the
other
job.
girls were walking through, going about their day, hanging out, go every day. Nothing happens to them, but these two girls go after, texting and snapping with Anthony Schatz the night before.
Shots. Right.
Well, and from what I
And
understand
Tony,
from
yeah.
Keegan's transcript from his interview with police, which I have on the screen because I want to go over some of it.
Okay.
There's a lot of info in this about Libby and how in love with Anthony Schatz and enthralled she was.
Yes, I remember that.
She was
And so
literally
that
in love
means-
with this guy and felt like they had a thing. It wasn't just, oh, hey,
right.
you're cute, meet me at the Monon High Bridge. He had been talking to her and grooming her, and that's exactly what the investigator said. Libby was being groomed.
Right. And remember when Tony would get on and use that account, he would talk differently. Remember how he would talk nastier? He was more aggressive. He
Mhm.
was like, you look like a little slut thing to me, or he was gross. He didn't talk like,
Yeah. And they also make
a
mention in
teenager.
this interview with him that there were weird messages under the Emily name. Emily was saying,
Yes.
would you like F my dad, or like would you do this or that with my dad? And like talking about his
Right.
dad. It was weird.
Yeah, and wanted pictures. Remember?
Yes.
Wanted to get some pictures.
Yep.
It was a girl asking. Yeah, I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
So see, how can you not have all that and then get this random guy, 5'3", moving a 200 pound? I don't get it. I don't get it. And there's no DNA. There's nothing in this car. I'm just not buying
Nothing.
it. I don't know.
I know. So get this.
I don't know.
If you go back in the probable cause, and I'm waiting for this to come out at trial, because if you go back in the probable cause, they took, and I know they
Okay.
said there was no evidence. So obviously, they took a cutting of his carpet out of his car when they did the search warrant. So you're
Right,
telling me
right.
they took a cutting and found absolutely nothing? Why'd they take that cutting?
Even, they took the cutting out of his car, but yet remember all the muddy and bloody. Come
Right.
on. Girl, this is not rocket science.
It doesn't make sense.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Especially when I found out that Indiana, the police, their weapon, the weapon that they were using at the time were the 6 hours or whatever.
Mm.
Even they had a backup. They started using a backup. I don't know. It was like a 237 6 hour in 2019. That was their backup, and then they got rid of it because it had so many problems. I don't know how that's going to fly. So none of that makes sense. And the jury, you're going to have a jury looking at a grainy picture, going, that could be a girl or a woman, or I don't know who that could be, and no DNA. If I was on the jury and I didn't know anything, I'd go, I can't convict somebody and take his life or life in prison, and I can't even say that's him.
Yeah, Sin. I was just gonna say that what Sin said. The medical examiner, the medical examiner actually changed his story from it being a serrated knife to it could have been a box cutter.
Right, and you know why?
Because Richard Allen in the box, yes, he stole a box cutter.
CVS employers use box cutters for when the truck comes in
To open
and
boxes.
the pharmacy.
Yeah.
They use it to open their boxes.
But they're saying he stole one from there. What is that all about?
That's bull crap. Everybody puts it in their little apron that they wear,
Right.
when whatever, in their little lab pocket when they got to open a box, because they're not going to use scissors. They're going to use a box cutter. And you always end up taking them home. I've done it.
Yeah, I just think that's weird. He stole. I mean, that's just reaching. All of this stuff seems to be reaching.
Right.
And you know what? If it is the right guy and they fuck this up and he goes free, shame on them. Because that's a scary thought.
Yeah,
But, and another thing, Green Eyed, is does a 45 or 40-year-old man just pick up and like slit the throats of 2 teenage girls? Is that like a first time deal?
Yeah. Do you just wake up and go, I'm going to go to my parents' house in Mexico, but it's 5 minutes from the
Peru.
Klein's house.
Peru.
Yeah. Well, his parents live in Mexico, Indiana, which is 5 minutes from Peru, from the Klein.
Oh, I thought they were in Peru.
No, they're in Mexico, Indiana, but that's only 5 minutes from the Klein. So anyway, who thinks, I'm going to go there. I think I'll just drink a couple beers and let me go to this bridge and let me just pick on, there's 2 girls. I think I'll just start doing this at 50. He has no criminal background, not even a ticket.
What if Richard Allen was really
Right.
going there for the legitimate reason he said? And what if he saw them and followed them? Like he doesn't know Keegan Klein. Like he doesn't know any of that stuff. That just is a fucking odd coincidence. And he saw them and thought, oh, I'll see, and followed them and saw they were going to that desolate side of the bridge and took advantage of it. Could that have happened?
I mean, just all of a sudden, at 50 years old, you decide, oh, I think I need some excitement today. So I'll just sexually assault and kill 2 people.
Yeah.
I mean, unalive 2 people. It just makes no sense. I mean, I don't, because there's no history there. Now, I know there are some serial killers that didn't have history. I get it. But to be in this little bitty town, and then, you're there's no evidence that you are part of this ring of Keegan, of the Kleins.
And don't you think they would have found something on his computer if he was into like CSAM material?
Yeah. Where's all that? I'm just telling you, I think it's weak. I think they need more. And Gull is making it way too easy. Gull is awful. She needs to be terminated.
Yeah, I don't know what her deal is either.
Yeah.
DNA of an ISP employee. How about the male DNA on the genitals, but no semen? So they say, oh, they weren't essayed.
Well, remember but that ended up being one of the forensic tests. Hair.
No, not the hair. I'm talking about there was like trace DNA. They said there was trace unknown male DNA on their genitals, on the outside of their genitals. And yeah, and there wasn't enough to test, which is crazy because we have a knife sheath in Idaho that had a little tiny microscopic piece of DNA on the underside of the sheath of the little fucking snap, and they found Brian Koberger's dad. But you have unknown male DNA on a fucking 2 dead teenagers, and you can't figure out whose it is?
Yeah. And I remember somebody saying, if I spit on the body, does that matter?
If what?
Remember the one guy, was it Elvis? If I spit on one of the girls?
Yeah, that sick
Would
fucker.
that show up? I mean, but the male DNA, you could have swapped that easy and saved it.
Laundry transfer? That's weird. How can they know that, though, without testing it? How could they figure out it was male? Well, they tested it and said it was unknown male DNA, right?
What, around the genitals?
Mm-hmm. A laundry transfer. So my husband's DNA, like any male that lives in my house my DNA, like his DNA is going to be on my genitals if we shared the same laundry load? That's fucking weird.
No, those are 2 young girls. I don't believe that. That would be like if I put my husband's underwear on, maybe.
I just feel like 2 teenage girls who aren't sexually active with boyfriends should not have male DNA on their fucking genitals. That's how I feel. Is it on their fucking arms and legs too, or is it just on their fucking genitals?
Right.
Mm-mm.
So that means, they were touched. But remember, he was interrupted, they say, by the white van, Brad Weber's van, who was on his way home from seeing his mother.
Was it Mother's fucking visit day?
I know, that's what I'm saying.
It was Mother's visit day and fucking fish day. We got Ron Logan buying tropical damn fish in another town.
And lying about it.
And then we got Richard Allen looking at fish. And all these motherfuckers visiting their moms.
Yeah. But it is true that you can see the fish from that platform. I looked it up. I was asking all kinds of stuff.
Well, Lawyer Lee said you can.
Yeah, because you can.
Yeah.
So them saying he couldn't have been doing that. Well, yes, he could.
He
and he
could have.
probably did do that.
Well, he had a fishing license. I mean, so obviously he did fish.
Well, yeah, and he even said he did. But see, then they got to turn him into a cuckoo bird, to make him,
Right.
admit to anything. Like I said, like I would. I know I would, because I would want to get out of there. They were saying, we'll let your family visit if you confess, or we'll let you have a TV, or, they were offering him stuff. That's how they do.
Yeah.
They're not. Girl, you know how they work in those prisons.
Well, and it sounds like this one's pretty bad. Like it's getting shut down. So
Yeah, you're going to shut that place down. It is nasty. Yeah.
yeah, I mean,
And,
it's not
that-
even. But it's so weird too, because if you're accused of a crime, right, and you're awaiting trial, you're usually in the county jail, right? Like, I mean, I've
you
never.
go to the jail.
I've never heard of a person being put in a state prison with the
In solitary.
convicted people when you're not even convicted yet. You're supposed to be innocent until proven guilty. Why would you be thrown in a fucking cage on display for this entire like wing or whatever it is you're in? It's weird. I've never heard of such.
Right. And how would you expect that to be a fair trial when they already have you in prison and solitary because they want to break you?
And this,
That's the
yeah,
whole
because this
point.
dude he has no criminal record, right?
No, he has nothing.
Yeah, that ain't right. Hey, Paul.
But everybody else has a whole rap sheet.
Well, and that's why I want to read through this. Do you want to read through this with me?
Yeah.
Because this is something I screen recorded it last night because I think it's important for everybody to know what Keegan Kline was asked about when he was questioned. Okay. So this was in oh fuck, I don't remember the year now. Was it 20?
I'm gonna hop down
Okay,
while
babe.
you read it though.
Okay, babe.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Thanks,
Thank
Green
you so
Eyed.
much, Jay.
All right.
Okay.
Bye.
I'll come back up.
All right.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.
Give it for Green Eyed. Give it up for Green Eyed. All right, guys, let's read through these and we will open up the phone lines again. But I think it's important with all of this talk about, is it the right guy? Is it the right guy? Is it the right guy? Okay, so this is Keegan Kline, and this is from 2022, I believe, because this was leaked to the murder sheets. Got it. They got their hands on it. So let's just go through a little bit of this. So the Q is the investigator. So the question, he says, and that I'm going to get into that because, and Keegan says, yes, please do. Investigator says, what? We need to discuss it, okay? You had told investigators, and I know you say you don't remember a girl that you ever talked to, but I know you remember Liberty German. Inaudible answer. Right. And you talked to her and you admitted to talking to her. And here's Keegan. I don't think I ever did, though. I think I talked to one of her friends like I told them. You admitted that you talked to her. For a few hours at a sleepover, and you blocked her because she was annoying. You remember that? He says, you're right, yeah. You remember that. Keegan says, yeah, uh-huh. So, again, in going through with a fine-tooth comb, that's not what happened. And I think you want to be truthful because it was hard for you because you were scared. I mean, it's a double homicide investigation. Yeah, he says. The investigator says, I get it. Right. I get that. But here's where you have to be honest about it because now we have all the information, okay? Right. I'm going to have to role play here so you guys know who's talking. And I'm telling you right now, and you can say you don't remember, but I'm telling you for a fact you did not just talk to them during a sleepover, okay? I'm telling you for a fact you said, I didn't exchange any pictures with them. You said you didn't exchange any pictures with them. I don't think I ever did. I'm telling you that fact you did, okay? Because the Anthony Shots persona, that the fake account, right, that you admitted to making, communicated with Liberty German on Snapchat, on Instagram. And like I said, it was not just for a couple hours, okay? So we need to revisit that. Right. And we need to clarify that, because right now, what we have and that what we can officially go with is you saying that. But we know for a fact it was a lie. Okay, that's what we know right now, because we have the data. And you know, and I made the comment in the beginning, Snapchat thinks that, right, it all deletes. It doesn't, okay? So when you think, how did you meet Liberty German? You didn't meet in person, but inaudible. How did you? I don't know. I don't know. And again, it had to be on Instagram or something. Okay, it was on Instagram. Yeah. And again, you can't tell me you don't know, because you have to know, because this needs to be clear. This can't be something that's left, okay? Because we know through the records. I know it was so long ago. I don't. But again, like I said, it's inaudible. Right. Okay, so she added you on Instagram. When was that, would you say? I literally have no clue. I don't remember talking to her, really. I didn't even know who she was, really, until after I saw that on the news. I was like, oh, wow, that name. I remember that name. Okay, so are you guys following along here okay? Okay, and these people outside are getting on my damn nerves. They have been making my dogs bark for an hour. You hear this? God almighty. Whew. Okay, so let's keep going. Okay, and that's a lie too, because we know that for a fact that when you were in Vegas, that on your device, you were searching about the Delphi investigation. Do you hear me? When he left town, I know rude ass hoes, they are too. Rude. He left town after his house was raided, and he was searching the Delphi investigation. And he says, yeah, because that's like right by our, you know what I mean? Okay. That's someone getting killed right out there. But it's not just be like, what the fuck? It's not just something you saw on the news. Yeah. Okay, so it's a news article that you looked up on Safari. This guy knows exactly. He's telling him exactly what he looked up and what he used. Tips pour in after suspect identified in double homicide. New details in the Delphi killings to be released. The audio clip. You remember the audio clip? This is down the hill. Right. How many times would you say you've listened to it? Oh, I don't know. Probably a few. I'm not sure. A few as in 1 or 2? I don't know. Trying to hear the guy's voice, see what he said. I don't know. Probably 5 or 6. I don't know. 6? It wasn't really that long. 6 times? Right. Another article. Information sought investigation into the deaths of Liberty German and Abigail Williams. It was a lot. And you saying that was a party weekend. Nothing but fun. And that's not what your phone says. That's not what your search history says. So Keegan Klein is saying, I went to Vegas and had a fun party weekend, ma'am. I don't know what you're talking about. And they got his phone, and he's worried about the investigation into Delphi. Because I'm searching about people dying? No, not just people dying. A person that you literally talked to. Yeah, but I didn't realize that at the time that that's who I was talking to. How do you not? Because I don't think, I mean, like I said, I talked to a ton of people. Okay, then and then like once I realized, I was like, whoa, what the fuck? When would you say you realized that? That it was that Liberty German, the girl you were talking to, was killed? I don't know, probably. I mean, a little bit after probably happening. I mean, probably after it happened, I saw like her face and saw her name. Then, okay. And then you told investigators that you had never talked to anybody? Yeah, I don't remember talking to her. I remember talking to one of her friends, though. That would be Libby. That would be Libby. You just said you remember talking to her. Well, that's what I remember, her being there, like with her friend, but I don't remember ever talking to her. So he was talking to Libby through Abby's phone? That's not what you said. I said you talked. First interview. No, you said, Keegan, I'm not here to argue with you, okay? I'm not here to lie to you either. Okay, well, I'm not here to lie to you either. But I'm telling you, what you told investigators was you had talked to her the night of the sleepover. This is 3 years ago. I mean, I don't remember everything I told them. You know what I mean? There's no way. I mean, and again, why would I think about that? That was the most traumatic experience of my life. Okay? This is weird.
God almighty.
That was the most traumatic experience of Keegan's life. What? What was? Talking to Libby? And then she ends up deceased? Why is he traumatized? That was the most traumatic experience of my life, and telling me that I bet it was. Killed people. So yeah, why would I ever think about that? Because it was a traumatic experience, Keegan. Why would I want to revisit? Right, a few minutes ago, he didn't even know her or remember her. Good point, Maggie. Okay, so them telling me that. Then why lie? Them telling me that I failed a polygraph? Then why lie to investigators about it? I really didn't think I did. We're not 3 years into it or away from it. Now we're 2 weeks after it happened, okay? Right. Why did you tell them you only talked to her one night? Because that's all I probably remembered. I mean, like I said, I talked to hundreds of people. Hundreds. I don't remember talking to one girl. You know what I mean? That's freaking scary. Hundreds. Just one girl that got killed. You wouldn't remember that? Then why care what happened? You said it. I mean, it was so important because, I mean, it is because, wait, where am I? It is, I mean,
that's 2 little kids getting killed in a town that's right by me. And that person's out there somewhere. And one of the girls that got killed, you talked to, including the day of. Okay, then, I mean, a lot of people get... Yeah, this shit is not adding up to me, y'all. A lot of people get killed, and then people talk to them. Know what I mean? That doesn't mean I killed them. I didn't say that. That's what you're saying. Like, I absolutely not. I did not say that. You're implying. Nope. That I know something about that or anything like that. That's what you were implying. No, what I'm trying to do is clarify. And I'm telling you the truth that I get you don't believe me, okay? But I'm telling you the truth. Whether it's my whatever psyche telling me to put that out of my mind, that I don't remember it. I don't remember what I told them 3 years ago. See this? Whatever. It's my whatever psyche telling me to put that out of my mind. Okay, well, I don't remember ever talking to her. So you said you had never sent her any images. I don't think I ever did. There's an image you sent her in a Ferrari that says sports car. Yeah, because I have a Ferrari. Well, Anthony Schatz did. Okay. This guy's Delulu. Right? Anthony Schatz had a Ferrari? I don't remember that. Here's another one you had sent her. I hate how long it takes for this to warm up. Ferrari. Here's another one. Okay, like I would send that to everyone. I mean, that's like I have a Ferrari. Yeah, like I would have a Ferrari. What do you mean? Anthony Schatz. Okay, but I don't remember that. You're acting like I remember every little piece of, like every little... Okay, well, let girl I've ever talked to. So let's get this straight then. I forgot even about that name until you said it 10 minutes ago. I forgot even about that. So Keegan Klein was not talking to Liberty Germany. Germany. So Keegan Klein was not talking to Liberty German. Anthony, right. Schatz was, right? Right, yeah. Okay, Anthony Schatz was. Right. So Anthony Schatz, so when they were asking, you did send her images. You said no because you didn't. But Anthony Schatz did. No, because I don't remember sending them anything. Okay, well, I'm telling you, here's 3 off the bat. Here's another one. Here's a couple more, actually. And then here's one said specifically to her. Is it bad that I'm super into you? Like, I would say that to every one of those girls. I mean, it was the same thing with every one of those girls. But when you're telling me you never sent her, or Anthony Schatz never sent her, because I don't remember ever sending her anything. I don't remember even talking to her. I remember talking to her friend. Like, you're like, think you're going to catch me in a lie. And I'm not really lying to you at all. I don't remember it. It's not. I've caught you in a lie. You haven't. It is a lie. You haven't, though. You said I've never sent her anything. And you asked me, do I remember that? And I said, no, I do not remember that. Well, I'm telling you. So I'm not lying. I'm not going to argue with you about these little itty bitty word sentences. Okay. It's not itty bitty when you're telling me that I know something about people that have died. On camera and audio recorded, you said, I did not send Liberty German any pictures. Right, okay. Don't remember doing that. I'm telling you right now you did, okay? Okay. All right. So that's a fact. Okay. That's not me trying to catch you in a lie. That's a fact. Okay, you were trying to catch me in a lie because you keep asking the same questions. That's you trying to catch me in a lie. I don't remember it, okay? Okay. You can think I'm lying to you, but I really don't remember it. And I'm telling you, you may not remember it, but it happened. So let me fast forward a little bit. Okay, here we go. Okay. Anthony Schatz communicated with Liberty German. And it's a fact that it wasn't just for a few hours at a sleepover. In your own admission that you said in the interview, it is a fact on audio and video recorded interview. You said, well, we never sent any pictures. And then the very next couple sentences you said, well, I knew they were at a sleepover because they sent pictures to me. Yeah, she didn't. Her friend did. He's talking about Libby. Right. Right. So you knew that they were there. And I mean, you had said that she had sent a picture. I remember that specifically. Again, that's a fact. I'm not trying to catch you in. That's a fact. Right. Okay. Just like, again, it's a fact that you're communicating to her multiple days at a time. Just like other girls you were talking to, including up to the day that she went missing, right before. And what I want to know is, you would communicate with her on what? The iPhone 5 was your primary device? Yeah, that's a fact. Okay, what other devices would you communicate with her on? I don't know. I have no clue of even talking to. What other devices? So now, okay, on February 13th, this would have been logged in a little bit earlier. So that would have been 8 o'clock in the morning at your house. Blank. Okay, where were you and your dad lived? This is Peru. Where you and your dad lived. Listen to this, guys. 2 separate devices. See the numbers here? How they're the same? Log in, log out. Log in, log out. 1 device. Log in, log out. All within minutes of each other. To the same Anthony Schatz Snapchat account. What 2 devices were these? This is a fact. Yeah, I don't. And this is not. It had to be that Samsung Galaxy or something. This is the same exact snap. This is the Anthony Schatz account. Okay, let's go. I'm not going to read all of this. This is about the meeting. Hold on. He's really trying to get him to tell him who was using that account. Okay. That's what I'm saying. It has to be the Galaxy. And then he says, it was white, it had a cracked screen. And then here's the investigator. Okay. Another fact then. You said I did not talk to anyone about them missing. About the girls being missing. Right. Okay. Snapchat return. You had talked to one of her friends who had said to you, who was I talking to? That you were talking to. That's who I remember. Yes, correct. Right. She said, did you hear about Liberty? Oh, so maybe it's not Abby. This is weird. So he was talking to one of Liberty's friends. She said, did you hear about Liberty? You respond on Anthony Schatz. OMG. What happened? That's talking to someone about the 2 girls who were missing and then wound up dead. Right. I guess you're right. Yeah. Okay, same person. Or the girl that you were talking to says that Anthony Schatz was meeting up with Liberty German. This is nuts. That's the facts. A total lie. That's a total lie. And then that's a total fucking lie. In that conversation, it goes, that's a total lie. He's upset now. It's telling you it's a fact. That's a lie. So you need to listen. It's not a fact. Same conversation of the OMG, what happened? Da 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 da. Anthony Schatz says, yeah, we were supposed to meet, but she never showed up. Keegan says, that's a fucking lie. That's a damn lie. How do you know? How can you? Because I know for a fact I did not ever talk to. So how do you know? No, hang on. Because you don't know a lot of things about all this stuff but all of a sudden you know for 100% fact. Because I didn't fucking murder someone. Yeah. So yeah, I know. Now this is where it gets really interesting. I didn't say, okay, have I said one time that you murdered? You are implying. Absolutely not. I can honestly, he's on your side. I don't know what that means. No. I can honestly sit here. Sin, thank you for the pizza, babe. Kiss my grits. If you were someone else and I asked them, for the past 30 minutes, I have done this. Listen to me. I can honestly sit here and I'm telling you that I do not believe you killed Liberty. Hear that? I can honestly sit here and I'm telling you, I do not believe you killed Liberty. Okay, thank you. I can tell you that right now. But you need to tell me, I don't know anything, who was logging in, like I told you before, to these accounts. I do not. Now you don't know again. I told you I logged in from 2 different phones. I had 2 different phones. So who was talking to the girl about you were supposed to meet Liberty? I don't ever remember. And she didn't show up. Saying that. Now you don't remember again? Yeah, because see how this can never happened. Really confusing. I never fucking told her I would hang out with her. I never anything like that. You remember certain things. And then certain things you don't remember. It's awfully convenient, Keegan. It's really convenient. Okay. Who's blank? I went to school with him. Like high school? Yeah, I was friends with his sister. All kinds of people talk. Look at this. Who's that? Did you date her? No, I was really good friends with her. All this stuff, this is weird. I'm going to skip past it because that's something you got to really dig into, and it's a lot. It's about like some kind of connection with their families, like, and it's redacted. So I don't know if it's one of the girls' families. Because look here. This is detective. I can't remember his last name, but so a person associated with that family, directly associated with that family, was talking to Anthony Schatz. Right. Probably blank. Had to be. And was looking to hook up with Anthony Schatz. So she gives an address to Anthony Schatz. See, this goes into the whole masked man and all of this stuff. Do you know? Okay, here's the investigator again. Do you know what? When you gave your polygraph that you said Liberty, like, what's her name? I don't remember her name. And then after you spent all that time reading over it, because my brain is going crazy. What do you mean? What I mean is there's no way you didn't know what her name was. And you sit there calling her that Liberty or whatever her name is in your polygraph. So in the polygraph, instead of saying her name, he was like, that Liberty, acting like he didn't know who she was. Distancing himself. And before the polygraph, I mean, you were looking up articles about it. I mean, even before you guys went to Vegas, you guys are, foul play expected or suspected. So, I mean, there's a lot here and we can read through it. I just can't do these two voices forever. Here's another one from the, what more of a targeting thing, right? Like maybe you didn't go into that depth. I don't know how much depth you went into looking for girls. You wanted to get nude images from Sherry, thank you for the pizza. Thank you, Sherry. Woo, I can eat today. Thanks, guys. I don't know how much depth you went into looking for girls you wanted to get nude images from as Anthony shots. Just like Buckshot method and see what comes back. But regardless, she bought the story. She bought the account. So we have a friend saying that she knew she was trying to meet up with Anthony Shots. See, I don't remember ever saying to meet up with me, though. That's what Keegan says. Thank you, Sherry and Sin. Ah, you guys are awesome. So he's saying, I don't remember ever saying I was going to meet up with her. And then the cop says, well, I'm telling you, this is what we had. We have that, I mean. We have multiple device logins from your house. Blank for a Snapchat account within minutes of each other. And then you were steadfast. I met them in the beginning of February, like the 1st or 2nd. You were steadfast. You never came off that. I never spoke to her beyond February 1st or 2nd. And the guy says, look, we know you spoke to her on the day she was murdered. You said absolutely not. I blocked her. She was annoying me after the 1st or 2nd, right? We have these images. You're saying that's not you, you know? That's a nude. What are you for? We have these grooming pictures. We have the money. The Anthony Shots money account going to her. What? Anthony Shots money account? What does that mean? Y'all, I'm scared. Help me. I mean, small town USA, independent of each other? That's what I'm saying. Yeah, but then it starts to stack, right? We have the Kick Messenger, messages with all of these My Daddy references. With regardless of what you say, there are two different authors of those messages. They're not both you, right? They're both your devices mixed in, but the phrasing's different. It changes. It's not the same person. So we know we have multiple account logins with Snapchat. We have two people using Kick Messenger. This is sus. This is sus AF. We're going to have to do a whole nother live on this. Talking to people from your residence. I mean, all that 100% sure. We know it. We know it for a fact. So remove yourself from it. Bullshit and trying to pick out every individual piece. It starts to stack. Keep stacking. All your search history was deleted from 210 to 215. There's nothing in between. So now what's interesting about all that is that those other phones have complete histories. Nothing's gone. Listen to this part. The investigator says, so during the time frame where this grooming would have built up to a meeting, it's gone. Wow. So he deleted everything from 210 to 215, the time frame of the murders. There's just another thing to connect Keegan Kline. So during the time frame where this grooming would have been built up to a meeting, it's gone. It's wiped away from your phone, but your other devices are complete. So now it all starts to stack. The complexity of your Anthony Shots persona, the cars, the influence of Lamborghinis and Ferraris. Yeah, it's not you. It's not your idea. You and I both know it's not your idea. What do you mean? That's not my idea to take pictures of money and stuff and send them to people? The complexity of it, okay? It's not just you. I don't know. He says, I don't know. Is it? I mean, like I said, the only other person that had access to my phone is him. That's literally it. Him is his dad. Hey, Debbie. Him is his dad. Not at that time. No, I promise you. Anytime. Not in Vegas. Right, not in Vegas, yeah. When you're searching nonstop about the Delphi investigation, when you're supposed to be on a vacation, when you're still actually sending Snapchats to Liberty when you know she's dead. I don't remember doing that. Well, I'm telling you, you did. It's a fact. What? Why is this guy on the defense list? Witness list? What is going on? I mean, this whole thing. Look at this. Let me ask you this, Keegan. Why would you, after you failed the polygraph about knowing about the Delphi investigation, come home, delete your Snapchat and your Instagram, which you used to communicate with Libby, and then you searched, how long does DNA last? Something ain't right here. Why would you do that? I have no clue. I don't know. Probably because they DNA tested me. So they obviously have DNA on that body, because why else would they DNA test me? DNA on that body. So why would you worry about your DNA being on that body? I wouldn't. Then why'd you search? Common question, just a common thing to freak out about. Like, you know what I mean? Right. No, I don't, because you giving DNA. Right. So obviously I didn't. I know. So, right. So you obviously know I didn't do it. Right. But then you're starting to think, why would you search? You want people to do that, but why would you care how long DNA lasts? What if it lasts 100 years? Why would it matter to you if it was on the body? Then it would matter, right? But you know 110%. Your DNA wouldn't be there, right? Right. So why does it matter how long it lasts? Because I wondered if the person had DNA on their body, if they actually knew who the person was. That doesn't make sense. How doesn't it? Because it doesn't. It doesn't. Because in my mind, I'm thinking, these people think I killed someone. So if they actually have DNA on the body, they're going to know I didn't do it. But if there's no DNA on the body, then it's obvious that, like, okay, well, that's weird. How did he know there's no DNA on the body? He's like, but if there's no DNA on the body, then it's obvious that, like, okay, that's weird. It just adds to it. Everything he said, it's stacking, the whole thing. I literally have no clue how that girl died. I don't know anything to do with it. Yeah, that is a weird ass coincidence that I happened to talk to her. Like, I get that. Put a 1 if you think this is more than a weird ass coincidence. You've been talking about it with other girls that knew Libby. You've been searching it before you went to Vegas. And then you tell investigators, I was with my dad all day. We went to my grandma and grandpa's at noon. No, I told them I didn't know. I mean, I don't ever leave. So, like, yeah, I'm probably out at his house, really. But, I mean. So they went to his grandma and grandpa's in Peru. They start talking about a drug dealer. And then they ask him, where were you Monday at 7:45? And he says, probably at home. So I don't understand why they were asking him about Monday at 7:45. And then they were in Peru at Country Club Road. They pinged his phones there at Paw Paw Pike and Country Club Road. I don't know if this is near the Allens' parents' house. But this is all sus. There was another part in here. See this? Do you see how I'm on someone's country, whatever you said, Country Club Road on someone's Wi-Fi? I've never been to anyone's house on Country Club Road ever. I don't even know where that's at out there. I just know those roads meet, or it's something country with Paw Paw Pike. I literally have no clue. Like, I don't know anyone. I don't know anything about that whole case. Like, yeah, it looks terrible, but I promise you, like, I know you guys are looking for that person and it's not me. I know absolutely nothing. And I get the whole blank thing is like weird too, but I swear I don't know anything. And the cop says, yes, you do. Yes, you do, man. I swear to God, I don't. Yes, you do. I really don't. Yes, you do. I don't. I just can't wrap my head around why you're willing to put all this on you. Why are you protecting someone else? Who am I protecting? What are you talking about? I mean, obviously you said that you didn't kill them, right? Yeah, well, the fuck yeah. Okay. You think I know who killed them? Cop says, absolutely. Oh my God. Absolutely, because, and you know why I know that? Keegan says, well, you're obviously terrible at your job. If you really honestly think that, you're absolutely terrible at your job, sir. I'm sorry to say that, but do you know who killed those girls? No. Hang on. I'm not literally asking you right now. Do you know for sure who killed those girls? No. Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah, no. You did say no both times in your polygraph. And guess what? That was deception. Hey, a lot of people fail those lie detectors. What are you talking about? Why do you think they can't use those in court? Because people fail. Oh, who does this sound like? Because people fail like me who have anxiety problems and are freaking out. Listen to this. This is the investigator. But those people that fail for other cases or whatever you're referencing weren't talking to the victim of a crime the day of. Weren't grooming them. Straight up, this investigator, this detective says, you're grooming them. O.J. Simpson, yes, he was. Well, you looked that up too? Yeah, I know about. What do you mean? You don't know who O.J. Simpson is, or no? Weren't sending pictures to the victim? Didn't say it is bad that I'm super into you? I just don't understand why you're protecting the person. I mean, was it as simple as that she just said, hey, I'm going to the High Bridge, and you told somebody? Was it as simple as she just told you, I'm going to the High Bridge, and you told someone? Interesting. I literally have no clue about anything like that. But yet you were. You can come in here and literally talk for 24 hours straight. I don't know anything about that. But yet you remember 110% that you had a conversation with a guy in Vegas on 2/23. And then they go into money, his money making. Who are you afraid of? Look at, who are you afraid of to tell that was using the Anthony Shots account? And he says, nobody. I told you blank. That's the only other person that could have my phone. That's literally it. He says, not in Vegas. Okay. He's not talking to Liberty. I don't remember talking. I mean, Liberty over and over. Here he says, I'm not talking about the Delphi stuff. I'm talking about the child porn and solicitation. You talked to underage girls. You said the same thing to them before you admitted it. So they weren't even believing any of this, motherfucker. Then he says, where's the evidence you have? That's not evidence. That's me talking to the person. That's not evidence of me killing anyone. I can't even remember a time I've been to Delphi. I don't know who blank is. Is it his dad, maybe? Look at this. We have evidence physically talking to a girl that was murdered right before she died. And we have witness statements that talked to Anthony Schatz that said they were talking about meeting up. We have witness statements that talked to Anthony Schatz and said they were talking about meeting up. Even to the point so far that she said Anthony Schatz told her when they said, oh my God, what happened? Hey, I was supposed to meet her, but she didn't show up. That's evidence. He says, I don't think I ever said that. Man, I'm not. I don't. Again, that goes back to the I don't remember thing. And then he says the guy at the gas station. I don't know what the hell that's about. I didn't say that, but you did sure tell her then that you were supposed to meet her, and she didn't show up, though, because that's evidence. That's true fact evidence. So let's just focus on that one minute detail. That conversation happened. That went back and forth again. I'll refresh your memory. Where the girl contacted Anthony Schatz and said, did you hear what happened to Liberty? And Anthony Schatz responded, OMG, what happened? And then she goes and tells him what happened. And then Anthony Schatz says, well, I was supposed to meet that girl, but she never showed up. So let's focus on that one conversation of evidence we know is true. And it doesn't matter if you remember or not. But who then would have access? Who would have said that then if it wasn't you, who supposedly is the only one that has access? He says, nobody. I'm saying nobody had access but me. So then it was you that said that? What I'm saying is I don't remember saying that. But if it had to be me, I'm the only person. Around and around and around. Here's another one. I can see that happening. I mean, I can see you making a statement of, oh man, this girl wants to meet. She's going to the High Bridge today. And then whoever told you that? Like they're trying to give him an out. Like, did you say that? Went to the High Bridge that day. I would never talk to someone about girls I talk to or nothing. That's not what I would do. But then again, we have to go back to that one narrow scope of conversation we're looking at. Why would you say that to that other person? Why would you say, as Anthony Schatz, I was going to meet that girl and she didn't show up? I don't know. I don't know. You know, even before that, we have witness statements that Liberty was looking at meeting Anthony Schatz. So again, that's another piece where we're making this even bigger now and looking at this. Now we have multiple people saying that. Why would Anthony Schatz do that? I don't know. I don't have a clue. Like, I don't remember talking to her. So I don't know why you'd say that. Do you see why this needs cleared up? Yeah, trust me. I know it needs cleared up. You need to find the person that did it. Yeah. Well, the person that did it, as in sending those messages, was you. I'm talking about the person that killed them. Okay, well, I need cleared up. And then they go back and forth. And then finally they end it. But I mean, it goes on and on. See, look at, obviously I was talking to her friend. They obviously could see that I talked to her friend on Snapchat. That's probably why I searched that, because I was probably like, oh, fuck. I talked to that person's friend. Weird. So what do you guys think? Let's open up the phone lines again. Let's go back. 727-755-006001. Tell me what you think about this. Tell me what you think about this. Let's chit chat. Let me get that number back up on the screen. I think this is absolutely crazy. I think there's more to this. I definitely think that there is some kind of player here in Keegan Kline, in my opinion. 727-755-6001. The hotline is open and accepting your call. So we've got Keegan on the defense witness list.
From
Max and Macy.
You are live on the air with Jay. Who am I talking to? 931. I'm going to give you a jingle back. You've been trying. I think that might be Pearl Girl. Oops. No, I don't want to call you back. You hung up on me. Let's call this one. Answer your phone, 931. Answer your phone. Jay is for Justice is calling. Isn't that crazy? Devil's Night, Lucy Craft. All right, fuck.
I'm sorry, the person you were trying to reach.
727-755-6001. Give me a call. So what do you think of this? Yay, 931.
From.
You're live on air with Jay. Who am I talking to?
Pearl.
Yay, it is you, Pearl Girl.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, how you doing? It's been a minute.
Well, it's been a minute. It has.
I've missed you, girl.
Right?
Yeah, you doing all right?
Yeah, doing good.
Good.
Hey, Chat. Hey, Mom. Everybody.
Good to hear
doing
your voice, hon.
Well, it's good to hear your voice, and I love those dreads. You keep them going.
Thanks, girl. Thank you.
I'm letting my gray grow out, so I look like a skunk.
Get it, girl? My shit's growing out too.
Yeah, well,
you ain't alone. I got grace.
I know, but I sure love to do something about it, but ain't nothing I know to
All
do
natural,
about it.
girl. All natural.
Yeah, but it's hard looking like a skunk all the time.
Skunk. Well, maybe you'll get found by Dog the Bounty Hunter.
Yeah, well, I tell you, there's so many topics right here now, honey. I could just speak on and on.
Have you?
Poor Granny.
Oh my God,
just love
you guys!
Granny.
I gotta tell you, her GoFundMe got shut down, y'all.
Did it really?
It did. They reported it. Everyone that donated to it, dude, I don't know. She texted me at 6:20 and said they shut down my GoFundMe. It's gone. She made a community post. Let me read it to you guys. This is absolutely insane. She says, she set up a give, send, go. Thank you all for helping the goal be met today. I'm sorry we have to start over, but they won't stop me. They reported my GoFundMe, having the entire thing shut down. All donations will appear in your bank account in 7 to 10 days. If you'd like to help, there are these other ways. And then she has her links in her community. Hey, Beans.
This is just something pathetic.
It's horrible.
And you know what? If this is something to die with, we're fixing to lose all of our First Amendment rights.
I just don't understand this. Why would they? I thought GoFundMe, you were allowed to collect legal fees.
Well, somewheres I read in there, somebody is showing that and said that it would not be able to be funded.
Sherry got her refund back. That's pathetic. Well, Bullhorn Betty's is still up.
Oh yeah. Yeah, why are you touching that? And now, and I wanted to speak on this case. I know you're on this Delphi case. I think Keegan Klein was the one that done that. There's not no DNA showing this man had been anywhere. And there's no, they can't show no sperm being enough to show no evidence that he was there. I know that the old man said that he didn't care whether he was alive or dead at one point. I think he just owned up to it just to be saying it. I think a cult done it. That place up in that parts is full of cults.
You think so? You think this is like a ritual type thing?
Yeah, I do.
You know, it bothers me,
somebody
though.
said-
Let me ask you this, Pearl. You may have heard this in your true crime, watching over the years. What if, and I know this is a weird thing to bring up, but what if someone had a vasectomy? Do they, I don't know. Like, would it still leave DNA? Is that a dumb
yeah,
question?
it still would.
Would it?
The difference in that is if you have like prostate cancer, they can remove so much of that prostate, the infected area. And the thing about it is that count don't come out till they go urinate.
Mm.
So, not getting nasty or trying to be, I don't know how the other way to put it is when they have sex, that don't expel until they go urinate.
Really? I did not know
Yes.
that. Okay.
Yeah. So a friend of mine had that done, and he said that was the worst part of it was that actually don't expel itself until after they urinate. So, I mean, that's why I think that it wasn't him. But any body fluids that comes from the body is going to be DNA approved, tested. But there was nothing. There was nothing even hairs.
Nothing.
Showed male. It showed nothing else.
But
So,
riddle me this, Pearl. How do you then have more than one perpetrator not leave any DNA? It's bad enough to have one guy, but to have more than one and not leave anything?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, the only hairs that they found actually was one of the little girl's sisters. And then the hairs that they did find didn't have root. It has to have root to get. Now the hairs, yeah, it could have been, and some of them has been proved male, but they can't get enough DNA from them because of the root system. That the root system doesn't bring up enough of the DNA to prove who the person was. Now, from what I understood, they swabbed her breast and the vagina and the stomach area
Mm-hmm.
and her clothes, but it never showed up. It showed up, but it was never enough to do an amount of DNA.
Which floors me, because look how they caught Brian Koberger.
Yes.
How is there nothing?
Yes.
If they say there was drag marks and one body was dragged from one spot to another, like Maggie just said, they swabbed their wrist. How is there nothing if she was dragged?
Yeah. Yeah, they even took, the dirty clothes off of them because there was spots of blood there, thinking that they might have actually have cut themselves in some area. And no, they hadn't cut themselves, so they couldn't find any other parts of the DNA that was even good enough to prove they could prove it was a male, but they could not prove that it was who it was through the DNA.
It's absolutely
And that's
puzzling. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's really strange. Which I think the older man had a vasectomy, right?
The Logan guy?
Uh-huh.
I don't know. But I know that he had a brutal past too.
Well, you think of the rituals that they done with that, they cut the wrist, they gouged both breasts with the knives, they slit their throats, what I'm understanding.
And their blood was mixed as well. So when they tested some of the blood, it was both of the girls together.
Both of the girls, yes.
I know that there was a really weird spot on the tongue of Abby's Converse. There was a spot of blood and it happened. They tested it and it was both girls. Were they
Both of
like
the girls
trying to
were.
help each other after the assault? Like,
I'm thinking so. They were
that is
trying to.
horrifying. It's horrifying, Pearl, to think about
It
them,
is. It's very.
because they said it would have taken like 5 to 10 minutes for them to pass away, which I'm sure they would pass
Well, you
out,
think.
but
Well, they would get the you know deliberated, I guess you would say, because when you bleed out, it don't happen all at once. So, I mean, I've heard of people bleeding out, and it's not a sudden thing. It takes a while, depending on how bad and how severe. Which if their breast was both stabbed and stuff, it's right there by the heart, so they might not have been that long bleeding out. But I don't know. It's just it's crazy. But now I just for some reason think now that that's cult related. My sister-in-law went to college. She studied sociology, and she was going to be a lawyer, and she had to go up in them parts, and they've got churches up there that handle snakes and drink their poison, all this stuff. And she said that was one more experience. And we're talking about a rough part of Tennessee. We're not talking about just a breeze through area. I live in a rough part. I know I drive my Jeep. I take my Jeep out, and I do a lot of rock climbing. I'm 67 years old, but I still like to do it. And I can take you to places that you wouldn't even believe could exist.
they're in Tennessee.
And yeah, there's
Are you in the holler?
well, I'm in the foothills, and I go up in the mountains and stuff with my Jeep. All the men drive. I'm the only woman that'll drive. I trust my driving better than I do theirs. But this place is back in these parts that you would not believe that it even existed. I mean, I drive till I hear banjos.
I believe you, Pearl. I bet it's crazy out there too.
It is. I can take you
Near,
one
near, near, near,
scary.
near.
Yeah, playing the banjo. That's where my Jeep heads off every time. I can't do nothing with it.
Cricket Day says, can we talk about the cigarettes? What cigarettes? Oh,
Yeah,
Richard Allen, I think. I think she's talking about the case. I think she's talking about Richard Allen being a smoker. The Camel cigarette butts were found at the crime scene.
Oh, yeah. Now, I don't know that I don't know. See, now, we got to think about this. We got to clearly think about this. We're talking about backwoods. We're talking about not being equipped for all this evidence that they've actually left behind, that they actually didn't do, where they should have called in the FBI or the TBI or the specialist that just deals in murder. But it's like this little old town right here. They wouldn't have a clue what to do about some of the evidence that they probably left behind.
Well, we heard what they did with the sticks. Threw them to the side and collected them 3 weeks later.
Yeah. So they're not they're just not equipped for that kind of.
Well, they turned away the FBI, so that doesn't make sense to me either. So when they asked the FBI to leave an investigation, I'm wondering why. Why would you do that? Listen,
I'm gonna go back on YouTube.
Listen,
not accusing nobody.
If people did that right now, and if they did that in Sebastian's case, if Sumner County came out and said, We have officially told the FBI we don't need their help. People would be outraged.
Oh yeah, but we got to also look. Wasn't it this case? Now I'm older now. I get mixed up, but wasn't this a case where some of the DNA went back to one of the officers or one of the officials?
Yes, this
That
is
was
this
there.
case.
So then we're looking at, okay, who are they hiding?
Right.
I mean, I'm not putting no churches or nothing, but you could go to one of these churches and him preach the gospel and then him go home and worship the devil. So we don't know what the inside part of this has happened, where they've excluded the DNA from the official. There's many bad cops out there.
Yeah. Look at the Rex Heuermann case. Look at all the cops that were crooked in that. And they also asked the FBI to leave that investigation.
Well, here in this little old town, there was an investigation that included me. My house got broke into. Small town. Everybody knew everybody. And he had the evidence in his possessions, but he wouldn't arrest the boy that done it. But he had the evidence of his stuff that he had stolen in his possession. And I found out about it, and I told him, I said, well, if you're going to take me to jail cussing you, then we're both going to be in there. I'll be your next cell over. And I fought and fought and fought till I got my stuff back. But you can. It's corrupt. It's corrupt out there. What you think is a good guy probably is your predator, because it's an easy target. Most of your cops and stuff, well, a lot of them, not most of them, but they're out to arrest you or get something bad on you. I don't know at the times I've been pulled over, and at one time I was a pretty attractive woman. So at one time, I mean, I'd just get pulled over because they thought they could do something. I'd give them something. And, no, that wasn't the way I worked. But they would pull you over for that. And I want to go on to this and ask this: what are they claiming on this thing against Granny? Granny's never said no more than the rest of us has. I mean, you take this Sebastian, God bless his soul. I believe he ran away from home, but
who could blame him? We
only know what we know, and the things that we don't know, we don't know. But you think about this. This is easy. He could have met up with a friend, could have met up with anybody, and he's still alive out there. All these letters that's coming in, all these people that's threatening people, it may be very well the one that's got him. The one that's holding Sebastian could be coming from all them threats. It could be coming from like your letters or your texts and stuff that you're getting. They want people to back off from this, and that's what I'm wondering why. Is it the one that's got him? And of course we're going to blame Katie and Chris because that was where he was at when he left. If he'd been with Seth, that would have probably been the one we fell on too. So you think about it, it's crazy. It's a crazy world we're living in. And I wanted to say this about this little girl that got run over at 17-year-old. Betty wants to blow it up about a race card. that blows me up right there.
I don't even know.
use
I
it.
don't even know what that's about, to be honest. I know there's a big
Well,
hoopla going on. I really don't want to get into that, but because I haven't watched any of it, I don't care what she's doing. As long as she's not going after victims right now, I'm good.
Well, she is.
Oh.
She's going after the 17-year-old girl that got hit. He run back home to tell his mom and dad. And he could have easily saved her life. She laid there 40-something minutes. Your mic's off there.
Mine?
Yeah.
What do you mean it's off? What do you mean?
I couldn't hear you say a word.
Oh, I wasn't saying anything. I was listening to you.
Well, this is the sad part about it is she's took up this case now, and she just don't even need to be able to handle the case.
Well, hopefully she'll be in the clinker soon, so maybe it won't be an issue anymore.
Go into the clinker.
I'm sick of hearing about her fucking ass. I'm sick of seeing. I don't see her face no more. I haven't watched anything on her in I don't know a while. I started doing the Boone trial and now this.
Well, I'm certainly glad that they got the Boone, and I'm certainly glad that they got that one on that
the Boone
little the murder of little Quentin Simon. I was happy to hear about that.
Oh yeah, for sure. That was a no-brainer. Oh, Nils, are you trying to call in? I've got it on Do Not Disturb because I was talking with my purr girl.
Okay, baby, I'm going to get off here. Everybody have a good one. It's good to see all of y'all in chat, y'all.
Hey, it was nice to hear from you, Pearl. You know that. We love you.
Well, I love y'all too, and y'all are awesome. Every
too.
one of you. If nobody told you you're awesome today, you're awesome.
You're so sweet. You're always so positive in chat, too. Thank you for being you,
You
Pearl.
have a good one. Thank you, darling.
Bye, sweetie. We love us some Pearl, don't we? Give us a call, 727-755-6001. I'd love to hear from y'all. We do love our Pearl. Our Pearl girl. She's the best.
Don't make me a dog-faced lion pony soldier.
Election day is coming up soon, y'all. I'm not looking forward to it either. 727-755-6001. Give me a call. 867-5309. Just kidding. I gotta go. Ooh. All right, here we go, y'all. I was gonna say I gotta go watch Delphi.
Nils the Iron.
Hello, Mr. Nils. You are live on air with Jay.
Sorry I screwed up your introduction.
Oh, it's okay. How you doing?
Doing great. Just got back from Western North Carolina not too long ago. We're going back down Tuesday.
Hey, thanks for everything you're doing out there. I've been following you.
Oh, thank you.
You got any stories for us as far as that goes? Anything overly
Western
crazy?
North Carolina?
Yeah, anything overly crazy?
It's a mess. 5 bodies in 4 days. They're still finding bodies down there.
Pray for those
especially in Yancey and Mitchell. There's a lot of work that still needs done down there, and we're going to be down there for months.
It's awful.
So, yeah, trying to post up updates and other team members that are joining us as it goes along and rotating in and out for mental health. So everybody doesn't get burned out or frustrated and things like that. But
it's really sad. I'm sorry. That's a lot to deal with.
Yeah, so we still have some search and recovery to do, things like that.
Well,
and just help get these people before what's the big thing.
Yeah, I mean, you're doing amazing work. I agree, Potato. So what are you thinking about this case? We've talked about this in the past, right? This is my Odin.
Yeah.
This is my Odin friend. Is that how Odin friend?
Yeah. I am a heathen.
And we've been, yeah, my heathen friend. But we went deep, dive into this, and we went through all the different ruins, and Nils was just so gracious to give us the whole scoop on what is it?
Norse paganism.
Norse
basically.
paganism. And I shared that live again, and I think a lot of people went and watched it. So you guys sub up to Nils. Great guy. Always doing amazing things.
Thank you.
So Richard Allen, is he our guy, Nils?
I don't think he is. I think it's a setup. I think it was pinned. They were trying to get honestly, the way I feel, this is what I believe, is they were trying to get a confession as fast as they could, and they coerced him, because even when before they moved him, when he was incarcerated, the ones that were watching him, I mean, it just, there's too many red flags that are going up with him. The position of the bodies, the twigs that were placed on branches on the ground as runes, and it makes no sense. I will tell you right now, as a heathen, it makes zero sense. So I think there was some stuff that was manipulated, some stuff that was overlooked, and they were looking for a patsy so they could try to nail the case shut. And there's too much missing information from the state trooper trying to contact the professor who initially denied it, who was a Norse expert there at Purdue. And I don't think they have the right guy. And I think the prosecution is going to completely screw this. And then you saw from the two defense attorneys that had jumped, which meant that there's new information that they didn't know about, that they didn't have time to prepare for. That is how I took it. So I don't think RA is the one that they're going for. And the other ones that they supposedly vetted, I don't think they did a good job with that either.
Mm-mm. It's really hard to rely on their police work, isn't it?
Yeah, and then to deny FBI access that's a huge no-no. That's a huge red flag.
I agree. Take all the resources you can get, right? Why would you ever turn down added resources when it comes to a double homicide that's been, it took him freaking 5 years to arrest someone?
Yeah.
Crazy. I never heard nothing like it.
Yeah, and if they're trying to vet people based off of a lie detector test, that's not going to do it. And
right,
I'd hate to say it, but probably the DNA testing has been so corrupted now.
Well, right. If they said they didn't have enough to begin with, they've probably depleted and ruined any samples, right? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it.
And you know what really scares me is that what if for some reason they do have the right guy, but they effed up so badly in the investigation that, a guy that maybe is capable of this is going to walk. That's a scary thought too.
Yeah. And there was more than one. There was absolutely more than one perp in this case.
How do you explain no DNA though? If you have one person not leaving behind DNA is one thing, but then two or more? How do you think that happens?
Well, anybody that's had teenage children will know that you couldn't do that freely as one person against two teenagers. Unless
you're holding a gun to them, you might be able to.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. The intimidation factor. But yeah, I honestly think that there was more than one perp. The other two got away. Don't know what's going on with that, but yeah, I think it was. I've always had a bad feeling from the beginning that this was a setup. Something was not right. It's the case has been manipulated too much.
Yeah. What do you think about this Keegan Kline connection? This stuff I was just reading. I don't know if you heard any of that or if you know about him at all.
Yeah, I remember we discussed that. And honestly, if I say it on YouTube, you might get flagged.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
The community guidelines.
Mm-hmm. It's just weird that he set up a meeting to meet Libby at the High Bridge. And then Abby and Libby go there and they end up deceased. But he's got nothing to do with it. Make that make sense.
Yeah, and then what is it, the mother or the stepmother or something like that? that was involved, all of the messages, the ex-boyfriend.
Yeah, that whole connection, it's weird. I mean, I get it, it's a small town, but when you've got, child porn and all that, this guy was in it up to his eyeballs, like Stearns,
Yeah.
It's just so
honestly,
disturbing.
I'm trying to figure out like a code word I could use that you wouldn't get flagged. How about Speedo? He's a Speedo.
Yeah. Speedo. Groomer.
Yeah.
I don't think he is Cricket Day. Are you on Discord, Nils?
But
Nils, do you have
and then
Discord?
Yes, I do.
Oh, you do? Oh my God, I would have totally thought you didn't. I was like, I don't think so, Cricket.
Yeah.
Cricket?
Yeah, actually, not to make a plug, but we run a Discord server for Herknager Radio, pagan, Slavic, Celtic radio, Viking radio on YouTube. It's just a 24/7 music stream.
That's so cool.
On YouTube.
Can you put your Discord handle in the chat so people can find it?
Yeah, after the question. Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I didn't know that about the music thing.
Yeah, we're actually right now we're number 1 on YouTube.
You are? Oh my God.
Yeah, it's my friend Alex in northern UK. He actually owns and runs it. I'm one of his mods, and we run the Discord server for him.
That's really fun. That's cool. Yeah, put your handle. Shell said, "Get it, Nils." Yeah, I don't know, man. This case is. It's got me just confused.
Yeah, there's too many WTF situations in that.
I just wonder how the family feels about this. If they feel confident that it was Richard Allen, or if they're kind of sitting in the courtroom going, what the fuck is this,
Yeah, I mean, the hardest thing they've been trying to plug is an MO.
Yep. I mean,
and then trying to link it back to our beliefs.
The messed up thing, Nils, is that the way that they got RA, right? So he admits, he self-snitches. He's like, hey, I was out there, interviews, does everything. And then years later, right before an election, no less, a volunteer comes on the scene and finds a file. And that file with the interview, it says Richard Whiteman on it. Now, Richard lived on Whiteman Drive or Street, but they had him as Richard Whiteman on Allen Drive. And allegedly they wrote cleared on the file because they cleared him. So cleared was written on there, but this volunteer just took it upon herself to, go above and beyond and brought it directly to the sheriff or whoever was up for election and gives it to him. I found this. And then lo and behold, it's Richard Allen.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, that's why I said I feel it's a setup. Just something's not right.
No, Cricket, that's his road. Whiteman was the road he lived on. They had his road as his last name and his last name as his road. And this is 2 teenagers that were brutally, their throats were cut. I don't get any of this. I think it's a shame. I think they all should be ashamed of themselves.
Yeah, and in a common area that people supposedly had just hiked. And if you live in an area for so long, you know that area.
Yeah.
But between the communication, the text and stuff between the different families and things, it doesn't make sense at all. And all of the other information, the files, and then the 2 defenders that quit, which told me, hey, there's new information that they weren't aware of. And that was 2 years ago that they had no idea about?
Yeah. Yeah.
or a year ago, and then all of this other stuff starts to surface. They move him for his safety. The two guards with their tattoos and stuff, and identification, the patches they had on, it does not make sense.
None of it. And it makes me sad.
So,
It makes me sad and scared that, the judge has also shut everybody out. Even the people going there to watch they can't even get up to go to the bathroom, so they don't drink anything all day because their seats are gone. It's ridiculous.
yeah, and what I would really like to see if we get a hold of, and I don't know if it'd be a HIPAA violation, because it is with a criminal case, is the account that RA gave to the prison psychologist.
I haven't heard that yet. Someone just mentioned that in chat. They said,
Yeah.
wait till you catch up on today. I haven't listened to anything today yet. I know I'm like, I got to get off here so I can go listen. I'm such a junkie at night now. It's like 7:00. All right. Are the updates coming out yet? I really appreciate that all these people, though, are able to give us all these different perspectives so that we can, kind of combine them and get a big picture of what's going on, even though we can't see anything. I think that's been pretty cool.
Yeah, it's I would love to know the information, because he was examined by that clinical psychologist while he was in custody. And she described her interactions with RA during that, but her name's Dr. Monica Walla, WALA, and she took the stand. So, but the specifics of what was in that, I would like to know, and the fact that they frequently kept him on suicide watch. Why would you have to keep someone on suicide? I know the first 24 to 48 hours they do it for cases, especially for high profile nature cases, but why did they have to keep him on close observation all the time unless he was scared?
Right.
Not depressed.
Don't you find it interesting, though, that he claimed that his depression got worse since the murders? That was kind of a red flag to me.
And she never initially discussed the case with him. I do know that, and discouraged him from talking about the case, with others when he was there. But from the April 5th, 2023 confession, I'm not going to say complaint, but confession of him saying he did it, and he made sure they were dead so they didn't suffer. But if you cut somebody's throat, it's damn near instant. So it's just his testimony from that and what actually happened from the evidence don't add up either.
None of it adds up, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
It all sounds effed up. I don't know. I'm scared for the outcome because I don't know. I'm torn. Like, I definitely don't want to see an innocent man, go to prison for something he didn't do. But then on the other hand, this is such a brutal killing. And it's awful because there's just no rhyme or reason to it. Like, I hate to say you can understand if there was a motive of SA, but when you don't even have that, like, what the fuck? What was the reason for it?
Yeah, they deemed that he wasn't psychotic. There was no psychosis there, and where he admitted he had a heavy drinking episodes. He had binge drink and stuff like that, and he admitted he was an alcoholic. And it was like a situational psychosis. But it doesn't add up to this situation because even the video and the picture of him walking, he doesn't appear intoxicated. And in that picture, I don't think that was him.
I don't know how you can even... You know what else, Nils? If that was some local yokel that worked, like, I grew up in a small town like they live in, and I knew those damn ladies at the pharmacy. Like, maybe if I saw them in town or at Kmart or something, I'd be like, God, that lady looks familiar. And then my sister would be like, oh, that's the lady from Rite Aid. you know their face because you see them, but you may not be able to place them necessarily. But why did nobody say, "Oh my God, that's the CVS dude"?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. He saw his mom that morning. He asked if he wanted to go out. He told the clinical psychologist that he drank 3 beers and then went on the walk. And then he saw the girls walking on the trail and followed them. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So all of this is evidence. And he said he had a gun with him, and the bullet fell out and startled him, and he ordered him down the hill, with intent. But he said something startled him, either a man or a van. And this was in court. And then he ordered the girls across the creek, cut their necks, and then covered their bodies with tree branches. If you're trying to hide a body, you're just not going to throw tree branches on them and leave.
What if you get spooked, though? What if you feel like someone's coming? But you know what else, Nils? A lady that was in Hidden True Crime, I think it was. Shit, I just lost my train of thought because I was reading chat.
I'm sorry.
No, it's not you. I was reading about what they're saying. I think that the murder sheets are the ones that got the pics, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it was Defense Diaries. What did he do?
Yeah, and all this all of this other supposed witnesses showing up, and everybody being vetted and stuff for this, that everyone had ties. And in small towns, everybody knows everybody. Everybody has ties to stuff. And there's even in that report by Walla that he was faking symptoms. So
yeah, it doesn't make sense. I just don't understand his treatment prior to trial. That doesn't make sense to me either. I mean, what reason would they have to put him in a prison like that? Why can't they just house him at the county jail like they do everybody else?
Yeah, and when you place somebody in like that, they're going to get depressed and things like that, and show certain,
dude, yeah, emotional, that's awful,
and breakdown. And even she got nailed for it because she was following the case, and then she just happened to shut down her Facebook account and some other stuff. I think they need to dig back into more of some of the other folks too that they have on the stand that are supposed experts.
Yeah, their experts have been less than showing their expertise. I don't know. It's like sometimes you wonder, you're like, wait a minute, this is a state's witness again?
Yeah, and who are the connections of those people with others and within the system? I'm not trying to be a huge theorist, but there's always something that leads to something else in this case, and it doesn't add up. But there is a connection.
Yeah, there's something. I don't like the Klein connection. I don't like any of that. I don't like any of it. I just feel like there's shit that's been dealt with, like on the side, like in the form of like deals or something. I don't know. Because that guy who made the meeting with Liberty German, Anthony Schatz, knew they were going to be at that damn bridge.
Yeah.
And we haven't heard one thing about it. They start the timeline in the trial from the girls got dropped off. Liberty asked, to get a ride to the bridge. How about we start with the night before when they're on Snapchat with Anthony Schatz all night, taking pictures and videos. And Anthony Schatz is trying to get Liberty to send him a nude picture. Why don't they talk about that? They're dead 12 hours later. I mean, come on. What's going on here?
Yeah, something's not adding up in Carroll County.
Yeah, it's just sus that they're leaving that part out. I don't get it.
From the blood expert and everything else, and the blood patterns and stuff, and where they said, they were dragged. Were they dead before whoever left? I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me.
Do you think anything of Ron Logan, the dead guy? Have you looked into that?
Oh, did he die?
He died of quote unquote COVID, allegedly, in 2022. So he's dead. I mean, they could have pinned it on Ron Logan if they wanted to. He's dead.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know. The whole thing, it ain't adding up. Hopefully, I mean, you would think 2 weeks into testimony, things would start coming together. Usually that's what happens in trials. The story gets told, right? I ain't seeing it here.
What's crazy is when, like the DNA on the bullet casing or whatever, the FBI stepped in and said, "Hey, we'll help," and they said, "No, we don't need your help." That threw up a huge red flag to me as well.
100%.
It's like, no, you have the best criminal pathology lab in the nation, and they refuse it.
Yeah, that tells you something. And then everything we hear on the stand is, "Oh, we didn't have enough to test that," or we couldn't get that, or it's always some kind of effed up excuse.
Yeah.
2 weeks in and more questions than before it started. If that was even possible,
Mm-hmm. And I don't know anything about this Francis Gall, the special judge they assigned for it either.
I don't know anything other than this, and she's been a nightmare. She's been an absolute nightmare. I've just never seen public access to a trial make people jump through so many hurdles to do it, to watch it. It's weird to me, unless she's just straight up annoyed by the online coverage.
Yeah, and it's funny how one of the hairs that was found at the scene didn't test positive for a possible DNA match with the victim's family until 2 weeks before the trial began.
Right. Oh, there's a hair wrapped around the victim's finger, but we're just gonna. Oh, it looks like the same color as her sister, so we're just not gonna test it. What kind of rationale is that?
Yeah, and it was never confirmed. Never confirmed.
It's weird. All of it is weird. Do you think it's cult-like?
And when they tested everything from RA's house, they didn't find any DNA from Abby or Libby.
Right. They have no connection.
Not from that blue Carhartt jacket, not from his boots, and from none of his knives.
I mean, like, show me his phone data that he logged into Anthony Shots. You know what I'm saying? Show me that. But we have nothing, like no child porn, nothing from what we found out from his devices. It's wild.
Yeah, I think honestly, I think this will be an acquittal.
Do you?
Yeah, just because you have a confession, but you don't have DNA evidence.
And I think you're right, because Anonymous said they can get DNA from minuscule amounts at this point. All this evidence should be retested, including the phone. But I think you're right. I think they probably depleted the swabs they had.
Yeah, and blood is the most credible source of DNA. Like skin cells and urine are not very credible.
Listen,
sources.
Those girls did not even have his DNA under the damn fingernails.
Nope.
It's so wild.
See, BZ Mama, I feel the same way. Either somebody's connected to somebody higher up, or Ellie is involved, or something's going on.
Because that's exactly what happened with Rex Heuermann. Some of those cops were involved in soliciting sex workers, and that's why they didn't pursue it.
yeah, just I don't. I think it will end up an acquittal with this.
God, and then what?
Because he was considered clinically depressed. Though either it'll be a cold case, or they'll have to get permission for something else to pursue another avenue from another family member. But normally when they do an investigation, they ask someone who's suspected, hey, can we take a DNA sample, and they'll swab them. So it's either somebody through the area, it could have been a friend of his that no one's heard of yet, and he was protecting that friend because he's just depressed and he's done with life. You know, people get like that.
When did we learn that the girls weren't assaulted? I think it was during the trial. Because I don't think any of us knew that.
Yeah.
Right?
They discussed that 2 days ago.
Okay. We didn't know prior to that. I don't think we knew because we didn't know the cause of death and we didn't know if they were assaulted or not. But I think what BZ Mama is getting at is that RA knew that they weren't assaulted when he spoke with them, right? When did he say that, BZ? Was it in the interrogation or was it to the psychiatrist? Well, you know what's wild, Anonymous? You know what just hit me, Nils? Listen, that Anthony Schatz allegedly is a real person. And I found an article on like Inside Edition. It said he was a cop. Have y'all ever seen that?
Ellie always protects each other.
Wait a second. Let me find that video. Yeah, officer whose photos were stolen by Anthony Schatz. This is crazy. I just found this yesterday. Okay, here's an article. Let me share this. He says it breaks his heart. Hold on. This is weird. I need Nils' opinion. Hang on. Let me get this up.
Well, I don't know if I could watch it without.
It's not a video. Yeah. It's a article. Hold on. I'm going to put it up on my screen. I'll read it.
Okay. Yeah, because I don't want to like feed through the phone.
Oh, I keep forgetting you're on the phone. Duh.
It's okay.
I'm thinking you're on panel for some reason. Sorry. Okay. Yeah, I'll read it. Okay. So he says, oh, shit, I'm locked up. Hold on. I got to close some of this out.
Oh, Max and Macy's comment.
I tried to call in and got cut off. He is totally involved in it. I am a retired psych nurse and I can explain his behavior. Okay, so this says, it breaks my heart. Officer whose photos were stolen by Anthony Schatz profile wants justice for Delphi. Officer Vincent Kowalski said his photos have been swiped on social media for years. This guy's a cop, I guess. Indiana State Police say his personal pictures were used to lure young girls. A cop victimized in a catfish scheme and suddenly thrust into the Delphi murders investigation. Now, for the first time, we're hearing from a man whose pictures were stolen and used by that Anthony Schatz fake social media profile. Vincent Kowalski said his photos had been swiped for years. Pictures from when he modeled after high school used as bait for catfishing scams. It's been happening since 2014, Kowalski said. You just search my name. There's 100 of fake accounts. There's 100 accounts, fake accounts of me. But the former model and current cop was shocked at what happened this month. While working his night shift beat in Alaska, someone sent him a screenshot from Indiana. His face and those old photos were front and center in the Delphi murder investigation. Kowalski wasn't contacted by Indiana State Police beforehand. He learned about the connection just like everyone else, with a press release on YouTube. I was like, that's got to be some fake page, or it's got to be photoshopped or something. Just seeing your face blasted all over the news was crazy. Indiana State Police said Kowalski's teen modeling pictures were stolen and used to catfish young girls. Keegan Kline admitted to creating the fake profile. Kline has not been charged in the murders of the Delphi girls. And then Kowalski said this pissed me off. I'm glad they found the guy behind the account, but they got to find the guy who hurt those 2 young girls. Soliciting photos from young girls, that's disgusting. Makes me sick. But to know that 2 young girls possibly lost their life because of my picture, it's the worst of the worst. It keeps you up at night as a parent, knowing that people out there are like that. Kowalski is married and a father of 2 daughters, so the crimes feel personal. He's also angry that his picture was scammed yet again. He even put a warning on his own Instagram page a couple years ago about bogus profiles. So this is him. I know you can't see it, Nils, but this is him on a YouTube thing. At the end of the day, it breaks my heart, he said.
Wow.
Isn't that weird?
I mean, it makes a lot of sense, though.
So not only was Keegan Kline catfishing girls, but he's taken a former model / cop pictures.
Yep, like I said, Speedo.
Uh-huh. I don't know. Wild stuff, Nils.
Probably.
Wild stuff.
It's all speculative, but that's where I'm leading to, is Keegan.
Mm-hmm. Here he is, gals, on the screen. That's him in his uniform. I don't know. He could be a LARPer. Who knows? Apparently, he's a cop in Alaska. Keegan, at the time, I think he was. Oh, I don't want to misspeak because I don't know. 25? 25 or 27, maybe? Sin. But his dad was also, I think, involved with him.
Lucid said he looks like Kev from Shameless.
Yeah, poor guy. Can you imagine, like, oh, your face is seen catfishing these girls that end up deceased? Summer, stop. Potato, I want to go be bad in Alaska.
Yeah. I mean, how many people have like committed crimes in the lower 48 and then moved to Alaska, and then like 15 years later they catch them?
That is so wild. I mean, I guess stranger things have happened. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what Keegan Kline says if he takes the stand for the defense.
Yeah. Watch his attitudes and mannerisms. That's all I got to say.
It's wild.
Mouse naughty in the north.
You know what? His dad's on there too. His dad's on the defense witness list. Both of them. And some people say that they look like the sketches, father and son.
Yeah, I think RA is innocent. I think he's just a fall guy.
It'll be interesting to find out.
And if he is an Odinist, why would they have 2 Odinist corrections officers watch him under suicide watch? Why not someone else, but specifically Odinist?
I don't know, but from what they said, the correctional officers and the warden were just total assholes. Like, just cold and heartless. I mean, just really bad. Yeah, I'm not trusting the Klines either, guys. All right, Nils. Well, I'm going to wrap this up. I'm going to play a video for everybody before we call it off. But I appreciate you calling in. It's been nice chatting with you again.
Oh, absolutely.
It's been
Thank
a
you
minute.
for having me.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. You stay
And I'm
safe
glad
out
you're
there,
okay.
and thank you for all the work you did and keeping me posted with all the hurricane updates. It was so helpful and thoughtful. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're very welcome.
He was
Yeah, I was
checking
worried to
on
death.
me, y'all. It was so nice, and he was giving me updates of where it was at, where it's heading, when the next update's coming out. It was really nice of you. I appreciate that.
You were very welcome.
All right, we'll take care, Nils.
Yes, ma'am. You do the same.
All right, talk to you soon. Stay in touch.
Skull.
Skull. He is a good guy. He really is. Thank you, Nils, for calling in. Thank you, everybody, for calling in.
You're being a Karen.
Pearl was awesome. Okay, so check this out. Do you guys remember when those crime scenes photos of the girls was leaked and that guy was charged and someone committed suicide over it? Do you remember this? Listen, this freaks me out because do you remember the guy that unalived himself when the crime scene photos were leaked and it was this whole big to-do? Do you remember? The 21st night, September. Seriously, do you remember that? It was when Judge Gall would not let Alan's attorneys, and then they had to go to the Supreme Court. Y'all don't remember that? No one remembers? Anyways, okay. Well, I'm going to play this because the guy that leaked them had his charges all dropped. All dropped. Watch. Don't blink because you'll miss this update if you blink.
The man accused of leaking evidence in photos, I should say, in the Delphi murders case is no longer facing any charges. A Johnson County judge dismissed the misdemeanor charge that Mitch Westerman was facing. He told investigators that while visiting the office of one of the defense attorneys in the Delphi case, he took pictures of the evidence photos and then shared them. However, Westerman reached a deal with prosecutors and they agreed to dismiss the case once he completed his pretrial diversion program.
Just like that? Just like that.
The man accused of leaking evidence in photos, I should say, in the Delphi murders case is no longer facing any charges. A Johnson County judge dismissed the misdemeanor charge that Mitch Westerman was facing.
Okay, that was his name. Okay, so let's go here. I'm going to show you guys. Mitch Westerman, Delphi. So in April, he denied the motion. Look at. In April, he denied it. And then now he's just the other day that came out. I'm going to find that. Hold on. There was a man, and I'm telling you, he unalived himself because of this. And he was in Texas. Tell me someone remembers this. No, this guy didn't. No, not this guy. Here, this is the original report. Watch. It's probably going to be an ad. He was in the office of the attorneys and he stole the pictures or took pictures. But then there was another guy that unalived himself and he had a family and they wouldn't identify him. Look, right here. Oh, look, right here. It says investigators were able to retrieve the evidence from a podcast creator who said he got the evidence from a man in Texas. Investigators then learned that Westerman was an associate of Richard Allen's original defense attorney, Andrew Baldwin. According to court documents, Westerman called Baldwin on October 9th for a meeting. During that meeting, Westerman allegedly admitted he used his phone to take pictures of evidence, photographs in Baldwin's law office. He allegedly shared those images, which ended up in the hands of various YouTube and podcast creators. Yeah, who was the guy that... This is one of the reasons that Gall disqualified them. Where's the information about the guy, though? Here's the court filing. The judge was referring to evidence leaks traced to staff of Baldwin. Potato, do you remember the guy that unalived himself? What was... I'm unable to find that. Let's go back up to this video here.
News tonight in the Delphi murders case. Thank you for joining us. I'm Felicia Lawrence.
And I'm Scott Swan in tonight for Anne Marie. Today, state police arrested a Westfield man who now faces criminal charges related to that evidence link in this Delphi case. Mitch Westerman tonight is accused of a misdemeanor charge after investigators say he took pictures of evidence.
In a sworn statement to the judge, Westerman says he was visiting the office of Andrew Baldwin, one of Richard Allen's original defense attorneys, when he saw photos on a table. Investigators say Westerman took pictures and shared them. Those photos were then leaked. Baldwin and the other defense attorney, Brad Rosie, told investigators they did not give Westerman permission to take the pictures. Baldwin told the court he did not know about the leak until Westerman came to him in early October to confess.
This leak is a key reason that the judge in the case, Francis Gull, gave for removing Baldwin and Rosie as Allen's defense team. However, Allen says he still wants those attorneys on the case, and the attorneys are asking the state Supreme Court to reinstate them. So late today, Westerman bonded out of jail.
We're going to continue to follow this case and any impact it has on the murder case against Richard Allen.
They put him in the clinker for this, Cricket, and now it's just like, oh, it's over. Here's another one.
And tonight at 6, a man is charged with leaking confidential evidence in the murders of Abby Williams and Libby German. This leak was a key factor in the special judge removing the original defense team for the suspect, Richard Allen. Now, according to the court records, Mitchell Westerman was a friend of one of those attorneys, Andrew Baldwin. He told the court that he visited Baldwin's office and then took pictures of evidence in the case that was sitting out on a table. Baldwin told investigators Westerman admitted to him that he leaked the information. Tonight he's charged with misdemeanor conversion. Westerman was arrested today but is already bonded out. The special judge in the case says the fact the man could take the pictures represented gross negligence by Richard Allen's attorneys. Their fight to stay on this case is now up to the Indiana Supreme Court. We've been following this big case for almost 7 years. You can follow every twist and turn by going to WTHR.
From Fisher's, then shared the images. Okay, was it the guy in Fisher's?
It was an unseasonably warm
the crimes.
Why is that on there?
It pains me to say this, but the totality of these circumstances demonstrate gross negligence and incompetence on the part of the defense team. I am unsatisfied with your representation of Mr. Allen. I am gravely concerned about his rights to have
Was that dude set up to like get them off the case? Was he set up to get them off the case?
And what I've found, though, in this entire process, from investigation to charges to the court.
Yeah, Cricket, they had to go to the Supreme Court to continue being his lawyers. Both of them are still his lawyers. But that caused a huge problem. And then all of a sudden they just drop it? Like, oh.
Proceedings.
Weird.
That Indiana is one of the most secretive jurisdictions in our nation. Now, in our system of justice, each state is allowed to do whatever they want to do as long as it's within the guidelines of the U.S. Constitution. So they have their own rules, practices, and the way they do what they do. But again, that brings me back to what has taken place in this case, where we've learned very little. And even after the charges, we learned a little bit more, but not a ton. Not a lot has been made public in this case. And you compare it to other jurisdictions. Like, we understand Florida has always been wide open because of their sunshine laws. They believe that is the best way to run the government, that everything is open as can be. Other jurisdictions like California, where they don't have a grand jury, a defendant is arrested.
I found it. I found it on Reddit. Thank God for Reddit. Check this out. Let's look at this really fast. Okay. This was a bit confusing. Okay, so with the crime scene photo leak, this is the crime scene photos. There are 3 sources, M, R, and Mark. The initial leak is M, who previously worked on the defense team. M shared the crime scene photos with someone called R. R then shared these images with Mark. Mark then shared the images with MS with a promise that MS would report to law enforcement. That would be murder sheets. So can someone tell me, did the person who committed suicide give them to this Mark guy? Yes, but to clear, someone who was associated with the defense called M gave them to R, and then R was upset about something he saw in a social media group about the blood on the tree, so he sent the photos to Mark. But who is the one that unalived himself? Okay, look at this comment. These photos are far worse than a tree. And Snay says that one of the ones involved in giving him these photos claims 100% not Mark has since committed suicide. Please understand, I don't want to share his full name. Why would someone unalive themselves over... This isn't even pulling up anything. Why would someone unalive themselves over this leak? Can you find anything else? It was in the news. I remember it being in the news. Copies of an email chain that confirmed the death of an individual. Right here, right here, right here. Here we go, guys. This is the story. You ready? Emails reveal details, in Delphi murders evidence leak. Among hundreds of pages of documents are copies of an email chain that confirm the death of an individual involved in leaking sensitive Delphi murder crime scene evidence to online groups. The former associate forwarded the sensitive information to a Fishers man who was employed at Fort Wayne U.S. Air Force Base. This individual is accused of forwarding the information on further, where it was eventually made public on online groups and content creators. In an email written by McClellan just before 4 a.m. on October 12th, the Carroll County prosecutor informs the judge and Allen's defense team that Indiana State Police investigators went to the Fishers man's home to obtain information about the evidence leak. The Fishers man reportedly refused to answer any of the officers' questions and said that he wanted an attorney. Not long after this encounter, the Fishers man reportedly took his own life with a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Oh my God. This is getting serious and way out of control, gentlemen, McClellan said, informing the judge and Allen's defense team that the Fishers man had been married and had a child. The accused leaker had reportedly been, quote, worried sick after police arrived at his home. McClellan ended his email by pleading with the defense team to come forward if they have any additional information about the evidence leak, calling the Fishers man's death the latest and bizarre twist in this case. Wait, what's the... I do not want to get another phone call like this, McClellan said, citing his worry for the other individuals, including Baldwin's former employee involved in the evidence leak. Also mentioned in the email chain were defense attorney Razi's concerns that a local content creator had obtained copies of the crime scene photos as part of the evidence leak. Judge Gall stated in an email that, quote, local content creators are not journalists and have no right to claim any type of privilege. So that's why people are being treated like shit. And then she says, she wrote that if content creators would not divulge how they had obtained the evidence or return the photographs to the police, she would issue an order that would result in their arrest if they failed to obey. This is a drastic measure I should not have to take, but will if necessary. The news of the leaked evidence ended up to Gall calling a hearing on October 19th. At the hearing, Gall announced that Andrew Baldwin had orally announced his intention to withdraw. She said Razi would be withdrawing in a few days. Well, then they went to the Supreme Court and they got put back on the case. But this was from a year ago, October 2023, was when this guy unalived himself. Here is the link, since it took me so long to find it. Where is the Fishers man? Reply hazy, try again. Fishers man? I mean, yeah. Potato said all the posts with his name in it are removed from Reddit. Craziness. Well, thank you guys for joining tonight. It was a fun call-in / learn along. I know I have a live scheduled for 10 in the morning. I think I'm going to put that off because I haven't had a chance to watch any updates. So be looking for the next Delphi update with me. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for all of your support today and every day. Stay safe out there. Fisher, stay out of the Fishers cats. Fishing. Wayback Machine isn't any help either. They're all gone. Wow, that's weird. And then this guy's charges just get dropped. Love you all. Mean it. Mean it too, Nils. You guys take care. Everybody stay safe. hit that like button on your way out, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks, guys. So much for watching. If you enjoyed this live stream or video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on my latest content. Want to take it a step further?
Bring it all in.
And join our community clickers by becoming a Patreon or a YouTube member. You'll get exclusive access to our Discord server, special channel perks, and much more. Until then, I'll see you in the next one.
Click, 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 click. It's real easy, man.
I don't give a damn. I don't really care about you and your problems. I don't give a damn. You talk way too much. I have heard enough about you and your problems. I don't give a damn. 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 You wanna be with me. You wanna feel something real, but I'm feeling differently. You're making plans to get to friends, but don't wanna face the fact that I ain't got time, I ain't got time, I ain't got time for that. Staying up late, sleeping all day, dreaming about Cadillacs. Buying new shoes, hanging by the pool, sipping on Coke and Jack. Calling my phone when you feel alone, but I'll never call you back. 'Cause I ain't got time, I ain't got time, I ain't got time for that. I don't give a damn, I don't really care about you and your problems. I don't give a damn. You talk way too much. I have heard enough about you and your problems. I don't give a damn. 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 You're mad at me for not giving you comfort. You say that I'm away so much, and now you don't feel the way you felt when we were younger. But that's okay for me, 'cause I don't give a damn. I don't really care about you and your problems. I don't give a damn. You talk way too much. I have heard enough about you and your problems. I don't give a damn. 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 I don't give a damn.
Roro causing Pawpaw. I mean, that's
Roro?
not-
Who was Roro?
Hi, Jennifer.